well, evening, morning, or midday, something. Well, good day in general to everyone watching, all of us, or one of us, or all that stuff, I suppose. So, then, let's see. Well, it's yet another time, day, or whatnot else for a creators roundtable or whatnot else. I probably should write, or we should probably supposedly write some sort of intro for everything, but well.
Probably should.
Yeah, whatever. At this point, doesn't matter. Anyways, so today's topic is essentially the fucking hell. Right. So today's topic essentially is the stupid Twitch. Anyways, right. Today's topic, Lavecon. Right. I just had my voice, the back of my head, played and so on and so forth. Yeah. Thanks, Twitch, for not muting my dashboards. I hate you too.
So that you can't
Feels bad,
talk
man.
because it's playing back at you. Yeah, that's horrid.
That suddenly out of nowhere, you just hear your own voice, and then you think, well, where the fuck is that coming from?
Yeah, it's horrifying.
Anyways,
Absolutely
Indeed.
horrifying.
Indeed. Right. Anyway, so Lavecon. Well, last weekend. Yeah, it was pretty much a weekend. It was a week ago. Lavecon happened, and I did journey my way out, or rather farted my way out to UK, and surprisingly, as a surprise, didn't get stabbed during the 3 days that I was there. So, yay me!
Yeah,
Anyways.
clearly you've never been to Manchester.
Well, again, you know, the stabbing's capital, the London, you know that Jack the Ripper thing. I mean, sure, I'm not a prostitute or anything, but still, times are changing, man. Times are changing. Right. Well, I might as well start then with the whole Lavecon. So, not gonna go into again the things that really happened there. I'd rather go into the things that developers did sort of showcase during the Lavecon, and that was again those of you that perhaps didn't watch it and whatnot else. All this will be new, but there were plenty of information floating about the forums and of course Reddits. So at this point, we're just here to take all them hot takes, because we called hot takes still pass for entertainment, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why I'm snarky today. Perhaps this because of the fucking Star Citizen. But anyways, moving on.
It's possible.
Possible.
It comes
Yes.
a long
I
way.
don't know.
You were happy and fluffy and full of joys of spring earlier on, so now you've got all the sass. What's wrong?
Oh, 27,000
course.
reasons, probably.
Wow, there are more. There are definitely more. So there
You're meant to be
go.
happy today, Yamex. We're talking about some good stuff for Elite, aren't we?
Yeah.
Right, since Obsidian is taking charge, well, you know, this would be interesting.
Yeah.
So do start us off. I was up again. I would probably just mumble and what else about, which I'm doing right now. So
No, you do.
do start us off on something that you found
I don't know
interesting.
who. It was Lavecon, obviously, last weekend just gone. As Yamex said, he was over there. Were any of the other guys there as well?
I was there.
That's a Scorpius and Turgeon.
Oh, I wasn't. No, I'm welded
No.
to the floor here. But
Oh,
Scorb and Yamix were both there in each other's company. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh
my.
my,
together.
yes.
I'm not
And-
saying anything, you know. I mean,
You're not saying, but you're implying.
You don't.
Oh
you
my,
don't need
yes.
to say anything. You don't need to say anything. It's your voice. You're just excellent with those insinuations.
me. Insinuations.
You'll never do that. So
Actually,
there's a whole
not
bunch
that-
of reveals there then at Lavecon for Chapter 4 as well as Chapter 2. So I think one thing I'd like to ask you guys that attended, obviously we get to see whatever they showed us on camera this end. Did you get to see anything there that they didn't
I
show?
saw nothing because the fucking projector was garbage.
Oh, we got a better view this end. So there was nothing
You got-
behind closed doors, so to speak.
Landing gear deployed.
As far as I
No,
know,
no,
no.
nothing. They showed you before they switched the cameras on.
Oh, you mean
No.
like space legs?
Oh,
Nothing
yeah.
interesting.
Don't
Like-
tease me like that.
No,
Come on.
that was just you showing Yamix your legs. That's not the same thing.
Isn't it not the same?
Ascorbius
Oh.
legs.
I see. Yes.
Oh my.
Oh, wow.
I don't think they really showed us anything that wasn't streamed, apart from Sandro Smocco getting very drunk on gin and tonic.
That would have been
So
a
what
sight.
was the mood there like when they were showing everything off?
I mean, okay. Scorpius, you're probably going to be more positive, so go.
Oh, I'll counter your negativity. You go first.
All right then. So, as with any other sort of an event, a con, and so on and so forth, the a phrase and feeling positivity by the name of is a typical thing that is tried and promoted and all that stuff. I mean, it's fun times and it's supposed to be like that. I mean, no one's gonna go, oh wait, no, there are these things called dive bars where you basically go and offload your bile and fight someone. So basically, anyways, for a convention like this one, positivity was the topic. So basically, of course, everyone's excited or interested in looking at things, and of course, applauding things that happen on the screen, even if they are of very little relevance. And yes, I'm being extremely pessimistic now, but fuck you.
I think it's
But
fair
no.
to say though that the community generally was probably pretty paid off before Lavecon. A lot of people a little bit fed up with the game, not knowing where it's going, not knowing what to expect for the future.
Okay,
that
so
been-
compared to Frontier Expo, now Lavecon is an interesting convention in its way that, again, it's not really a convention. It's more like just I think Ascorbius. Yeah, you actually mentioned it. It was basically just a couple of mates coming together and just I guess enjoying the day together, just talking about whatever they thought was interesting at the time. Basically, that's how it feels. It's not a typical convention where you basically go and take a look at new things being put in place. It's just a bunch of old guys, and yeah, there were only a couple of kids around, and even that was just
Just
weird.
a bunch of old
Still.
guys.
well,
Sounds like the Cartoonist Club of Great Britain. I used to go on their conventions. It's the same deal.
I suppose, but again, the mood was sort of mellow, and I'd say, yeah, pretty much positive. Just a relaxing day out, essentially.
Yeah, there was
So-
no stand-up fights in the car park. There was no one lost any ears or limbs. It's lovely.
Well, yeah, there's that also, yeah. Today,
It wa-
or rather,
someone
that
actually
weekend,
lose a
no
leg?
fatalities were recorded.
Yeah, they weren't recorded. That's the thing. You notice there's that great big space at the back of the hotel. That's where they throw the bodies.
Well then.
I suppose, yeah.
Who's
So,
our
Scorpius,
screen
your
fans,
your
No.
view.
I think the thing to remember about Lavecon, and it's something like that. I think the people who attend there, they know full well, and you have touched on this, but it is entirely run and organized by the fans. It's run and organized by the guys at Lave Radio, with the help of the guys from Hot and Orbital Truckers. Often they are similar guys. There's a whole community of people who just come together and they just chat, and like you say, just hang out, and they love being in each other's company, and they really look forward to the next one. And I'm looking forward to the next one as well. Frontier do go there, but they're not paid to go there. They go there because they enjoy it and because it's nice.
Well,
they like showing things off, but they're there for the fans. The entire time they're there for the fans.
Well, certainly. I mean, no, the fact that Frontier is actually making an effort, or rather, people from Frontier recognizes, a fan convention worthy to at least appear and, showcase that they are actually there and willing to interact with fans is a wonderful thing, and something that, is basically just a good PR sense that you would have, you'd think of. So, yeah, even both basically from the PR perspective and also just for pure enjoyment, I suppose. Yeah, it just makes sense to go there for Frontier. As for the rest of you, I know there are certain specific group that doesn't enjoy them, but and also people, but Lavecon is what it is, I suppose. For me, again,
what is it? What is it you do? Just describe your day at Lavecon. Describe what happened when you went in.
oh, just
Yeah, for
okay,
those of
so
us that aren't able to go.
For those, we've never been there. Just take us through your day at Lavecon.
Yeah.
Scorpius probably you should go for because I'm gonna be rambling on again. So.
Yeah.
And he's not.
Do it.
Well, would you
I don't
guys
know.
say that there was a difference in the mood before the start of Lavecon compared to after all the announcements?
Not really.
No, not really.
I mean,
It was
again,
generally
it was the
positive all round,
first.
was it?
No,
Every-
not really.
There wasn't. I was expecting because like I've had my my enthusiasm a bit dampened this last few months, which is surprising for me because like you know I love this game so much, and for some of the changes, some of the crime and punishment changes have really rubbed me up the wrong way.
Yeah.
To the point that I had a chat with Sandro. We actually managed to have him on our table for it was just over an hour, wasn't it, Alex? We were chatting
It was
to him about
multiple
everything.
times, so yeah.
Yeah, but I spoke to him about the crime and punishment change and how it nearly broke me. It's like this because I role play, right? I like to role play. My character is a good guy. He's an idiot, but he's a good guy. So, and I've never had so many bounties on my character than at any other time before. And I told him a story. I said, Sandra, do you mind if we have a chat? And he said, yeah, sure. Have you got a question? Yeah, I've got a question for you. It says, hit me. I said, I hadn't better, because I'll get into trouble. So he sat down. And so I told him the story, because I'm in Colonia at the moment, flying all the way out there for the Dove Enigma expedition. And I'm kind of stuck there because I'm filming there. So I'm doing missions for Jacques. Right? Jacques runs the town. It's his town. He's in charge. He's the numero uno. The police talk to him. So I'm doing a mission for Jacques to do a planetary scan job, because there's one of these pesky other organizations that he thinks that's going to stir up some trouble. So, and that's pretty much in the text of the mission. So I went down there. All right, Jacques, I've got you covered. I'll go down there and have a look. I was the skin of a gnat's left bollock, too close and too slow, and I got a bounty for trespassing. So basically, not taking a library book back in time that's the severity.
All too easy.
Yeah. So I got that. It's like, well, these guys who I'm scanning, according to Jacques, they're the baddies. So I guess it's not such a big deal. I flew back to, there was a couple of other bases on different planets that he wanted me to scan as well, so I did those. Same thing, because you have to be a cat or an 8-year-old to be able to get the reaction time. So I flew back to Jacques' station and was like, it's fine, I've got thousands of credits of bounties on my head, and he'll be fine. Jacques will smooth this all over, no doubt. Obviously, we all know where this is going. I went into the station and anonymous access protocol. Jacques, dude, we're buds. It's like you don't know me at all. Landed, had to pay off the fines before I could do anything at all, and that really rubbed me up the wrong way. It's like, come on, you guys, where is the roleplay for this? Where is the story behind that? Okay, if it's just a blunt game mechanic, then that's all it is. Blunt, heavy-handed, and bad. That's bad. That's bad game mechanics, in my opinion, because I can't have fun with that. I can't play around with that.
What do you feel is the worst part of it, though? The getting the bounty itself, or the difficulty in paying it off?
Well, Jacques does have a interstellar factors there. I think I used to like the fines. Fines are fine. You know, you can choose to pay off a fine. If you don't pay off the fine, then you're a bad person.
I beg to differ, but okay.
But it's too easy to become a criminal. And Sandro actually did admit that. And I can't remember which bit he said that if you say any of this, I will deny it. I can't remember which bit it was.
You might have said it already.
I might have done.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, it was that part. The fact that I'm a well-to-do kind of character. I'm trying to do the right thing, and I still get a bounty on my head for doing a mission for the controlling faction. Surely the police work for him. Surely, like, I'm actually the law. As far as Jax is concerned, as far as that system's concerned, I'm acting on behalf of the law. And so for somebody to put a bounty on the head of a member of the Pilots Federation, that's a pretty big deal. I would imagine that's a big deal. You know, even one as muppety as I am. So it just rubbed me up the wrong way, and it actually really upset me, oddly enough. Everything else I'll just take with a pinch of salt. If there's something I don't like, I don't do it. I don't do grinding because I don't. Screw it. I don't need that anyway. I don't want it. I don't need to get every single ship. I don't need to get every single weapon. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't change what I want to do.
Yeah.
So
Do not worry, Scrubby. Just have yourself a drink. That'll be 50 credits, please.
Is that Jax?
And gentle butt fucking a little bit there. As a
There's
bonus.
There's no gentle with Jax. He's an android.
He's an android, yeah.
Well, have you
Cyborg,
seen
cyborg.
dragon dildos?
Oh
What?
dear, we went there.
He goes both ways. He's the cyborg, yeah.
Why would I have seen those?
Well, it's better than blue waffles. Just saying that.
Oh no!
No,
Why
no,
did you
no,
bring
no,
that
no.
up?
No, why?
Plater
Yeah,
still
tell me
needs.
where I-
Plater still needs to learn the ways of the donkey show too.
I thought it started out so well. We were having a civilized conversation, and then
Hey, you imply one thing, then another one, and we end up in Yamix's town.
It didn't take long, did it?
So,
okay, you guys, I'll put it out to you. I'll put it out to you guys. What things have rubbed you guys up the wrong way?
Giggity.
Not like that.
I don't have the time to answer. I really don't.
just like Turgeon, there's just too much to name.
Mhm.
I mean, today alone I released something that was about that, but when it comes down to Elite, yeah.
As we've covered a lot of that, I think, before as well. I mean, yesterday I was talking about the pacing of the story. I think that's been not couldn't even class it as slow. It's beyond slow. And just the way some of it's been implemented in the terms of interacting with it, rather.
So in one of our Discord channels that I'm frequenting, someone was calling it a snail on sandpaper, which I thought was rather the pace of the story. Snail on sandpaper. It's about right.
So what was the most standout things for you at Lavecon? What for the reveals, what was the most standout for Chapter 4 or Chapter 2?
Oh, for me, it was. I'm a strange one because I like mining, and I really like the new mining changes.
I
that are coming
knew
in
you were
Chapter
going to
4.
say that.
Yeah, of course. I like the idea of getting a bunch of mates together and just going. If it's worth the money, if they can make it pay. So we just all take on a dangerous asteroid belt, and it's persistent, so that you can't just keep going into the same belt and finding that same good rock. And so I really like that idea, being able to do that with your friends. Something that's not just blowing things up. Well, actually, we are blowing things up, blowing up asteroids. But it's something you know what I mean. Using the tools that we have. Yeah. What
for me, oddly, discovery stuff, essentially exploration stuff that kind of intrigued me, at least on the conceptual level. But then again, as many of us have learned, the concept phase and the execution phase are two very different things. Lighting changes. To be honest, I expected a lot different, a lot bigger changes than what we will get. But all right, fine, we'll see. But the thing that they did mention, the whole we're gonna seed the galaxy with discoveries, quote unquote. That kind of made me a little bit more intrigued. So who the fuck knows how that will turn out. So just wait and see. Again, I'm not the one to be speculating about things, and burn the hype and kill the hype. So unless they are actually bringing out some sort of fucking gameplay rather than goddamn pictures, then I'm gonna start to think of something or form an opinion more than just I don't give a fuck. Yay!
I will say that I like the idea behind all of the exploration improvements that they've got. I'm cautiously optimistic, is what I'm going to call it, about that stuff. I mean, 'cause
Such a blanket statement there.
Yeah, I love exploration, and I really feel that it needs some love. But this stuff would be really great. We'll have to see how it gets implemented. But that goes for just about everything, though, I think.
Yeah, and from my perspective, it's a case of I'm so pissed off with everything that's going on in the bubble at the moment. I'll take anything that's outside of the bubble that's a little bit more than what we've got, and I'll say thank you, it's keeping me out of the bubble. Thanks. I'll just take that.
Yeah.
That's the level I'm at.
Well, do you see yourselves flying around in space looking for things down on the surface of planets? If you've got no new tools to help you do that?
I will.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
I mean, I'll fly.
It depends quicker. Yeah.
Depends how engaging that gameplay is, because again, there's action-based gameplay. There's of course just that methodical sort of a gameplay, and whatever else. I currently can't really name all types of things, but there you go. So as long as it's engaging enough, I suppose it will suffice. But considering that this galaxy is such a huge fucking mess and place, this sandbox or litter box, whichever one you prefer, well, eventually even those things that they will be introducing will get stale and old and decrepit, like a grandpa on his deathbed.
So,
and you wanted to say something about lighting?
Well, yeah.
On a brighter note.
Good
Talking
segue.
about hype and spec. Yeah, well, I was going to say that when he talked about hype and speculation, because it kind of spins right off of him talking about lighting. I think one of the interesting points about lighting, is that the game needs new lighting and it needs new color grading for atmospheric planetary surfaces.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Honestly,
that
I'm
can't
not sure if it needs it. It will enhance it, sure, but I don't know.
Well, one
Are
thing
you
they mentioned
suggesting that it's a segue? It's a segue? Is that what you're saying?
Of course, yeah. It's a gateway. It's a gateway towards it.
Well, if you've noticed them when they were talking on the panel, one thing they kept mentioning was how the lighting is going to look different in different environments. And there's only so many environments in space, isn't there?
A good point.
Yeah. How many times did they say that the whole purpose of the lighting and the color grading was for different environments?
quite a few, actually, now that I'm thinking
why
about
have
it.
a lightning cloud?
Pure speculation, of course. I
For no
always
reason.
what
Yeah.
Gas
Yannick
giants.
says. Be aware of the hype and speculating too much, but still think it's a valid point. Yeah, gas giants, maybe.
And there's still only one light source in the system.
This is true, yes.
Yeah. They were asked about that, though, weren't they? And they said it's
Yeah,
something
they
that's
Oh yeah,
not gonna
I
change.
did actually ask about. Well, I kind of maybe not intentionally, but I did stumble upon that question as well when
Did they
when
say
I
why?
did poke and prod a little bit of Chris Gregory there at the end of the day there.
Did they say why there's still only one light source?
Volumetric lighting, essentially. Volumetric lighting is quite a tough thing to process in general for, well, as a or not shading, but rather lighting in a typical 3D model. So, yeah, it takes a lot of processing power, and considering that again we have this rather dynamic planet, place, stuff like that, you're gonna have to recalculate a lot of those. Well, shadows and performance because of that will be brought down quite heavily.
Say
We've also
Lee
seen-
That's my
in,
presumption.
Well, there's Lee Eberle in Oxy's chat there saying, which is why they're no longer supporting Macs because of the lighting, which is interesting.
Well, a lot of it has to do with Mac not being 64-bit.
Stop. Mac is not being supported because Mac is being run not on DirectX but on OpenGL, and because coding in OpenGL presumably is harder right now, or just it can't, or is not financially viable anymore, or something. Again, there was a thread on forums. I recommend everyone go and read that, because all I remember, it was about APIs. It was something about the graphical APIs, and there you go.
there's a whole mess of API commands and hooks and stuff like that that's not present in the Mac ecosystem, is what I'm going to call it. And Apple refuses to add in support for said APIs. Like, they just plain won't do it. So Frontier's being forced to drop the platform. Basically, that's what it boils down to.
Don't take our words. Go and read up on that, because none of us have exact facts in front of us.
From the look of the chat,
It's down to
look at the various chats.
rather than
Poking all the various chats know more than we do. I'm looking at all the chats here. What's this? Max dropping OpenGL support for Metal there, and Lee says it's about the rendering. Yeah, they know more than we do. As always.
Commander Humbug is saying
Our chat people.
it's down to the fact that Mac doesn't support compute shaders. So essentially, it's Apple's fault and not Frontier's. Or
there's no.
Apple just
literally
simply has the
nothing.
courage not to innovate.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So there you go.
so
Right, on the
Scorpius,
brighter
do you want to
note-
talk about,
He's asking for that one. He's asking for the room shot. I'll save it for later.
So Scorpius. Exploration, probes.
Exploration probes, yes.
Oh my.
You know what? If they don't get the actors and actresses in to redo certain lines on the ship computer in line with Mass Effect 2, then I'm going to be seriously disappointed. If you're flying around in Seoul and you try to launch exploration probes at Uranus, I think they need to say something, just like they do in Mass Effect 2.
An Easter egg would be nice in the.
Seriously, Commander, probing Uranus. That's actually said it, but that's not the reason why I wanted to talk about it. I really like the idea that they're going forward with this. It's something that will come to people who are already out in the black if you've got an advanced Discovery. Is it Discovery? The planetary surface scanner.
Yeah, detailed surface.
Yeah,
There you go.
It's
That
detailed
one.
surface scanner.
And you'll be able to synthesize these probes if you've got the mats for it, and they're not going to be really complicated. So I really like that idea, but I think it's only a stepping stone. There needs to be way more for exploration. And one of the things I would like to have seen is more to do with, okay, so you got these probes, you send the probes out, fantastic, go get data, and then the data should come back to a science console. And that science console could have spectrum analyzers, so you could hear things like the Thargoid things. You could see that in the ship on the console, so you don't need to go out to Audacity, because my immersion is important.
Immersion.
It isn't. Stop it. It's important, Daniel. But like to have, it would make multi-crew really good. One person flying the ship, one person on the science station. The science station launches out probes, the results come back, and then some skill-based filtering on that result. So you're isolating frequencies of known things, like you're after certain metals, isolate the frequencies for those then. Thargoids have a particular signature, isolate them. Right, there's Thargoids down there. And you have to learn how to do it, just like you have to learn how to fly the ship. It's skill-based. That's a skill thing. I think they should do something like that.
so you're saying have multi-crew a little bit more like Bridge Crew, Star Trek Bridge Crew? Did you ever play
what? Yeah, I have. It's great. I love it.
That? It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, you just want the legs, don't you?
You want the legs?
Yes, I at least want. So.
Maybe.
We get a science station. I want pointy ears. Yeah, I think they could do a lot
don't
with
have
it.
potato giving you directions. That's all.
And also like the idea that if you get coverage around a planet, you'll get bookmarks on the planet already for all of the things that you can find down there.
Potentially, something, unknown signal or something. That's at least our presumption. They didn't exactly go and talk about this stuff, but that would probably be the easiest way. And yet, still no planetary bookmarks. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba, splat!
There was asked about that, wasn't there? What was your answer? Can you remember? Someone asked something.
The answer was something about it maybe not making it into Chapter 4, but it's on the list.
We are looking into it. It's in the list.
I want to do it
That's
one
the
day.
typical answer for everything.
So they got bookmarks.
Unless it's outright nope.
They bookmark system, they bookmark body and system, right? So what's wrong with adding a couple of doubles on there? Store the latitude and longitude values.
No, Scorpius, just like, you're a programmer. You realize that integers do cost a lot less than, float or unsigned integers and oh wait, no, they are the same thing. Well, anyways, floats, I don't know, vectors and stuff like that.
Yeah, you wouldn't use floats, but you'd use a double or you'd use a decimal value.
A double, yeah, sure. Something, they cost more on the server. You realize that? Think of the server hamsters, Scorpius.
Yeah, I'll
Just
look
think
at
of
my...
them hamsters.
Okay, I'll think of the hamsters. What do I have to do while thinking of the hamsters? Is it rude?
No, put a frying pan on.
Frying pan on. Now you got it.
Oh, God.
Exerted hamster meat. Yay! Oh, God. Okay. Right, well, anyways, then we did cover a little bit of mining. Well, okay, fine. I'm gonna go over mining then real quick.
Your favorite.
Just to jog our memories and other things. So first things first. They've all put in special, different looking asteroids, alongside the current ones that will look basically what you saw on the Reddits and other places, or the stream itself that it showcased. There are images floating about always. In fact, I could actually pull up, at least on my end, from the forums. That thingamajig, I will do that eventually. But they basically will put in new asteroids. They will be, of course, explodable or mineable, more for presumably different materials. So at least visually, they might be easily a little bit easier to distinguish from each other. With that, of course, you get new tools, presumably at least one tool that will detonate the insides of it, because you need to implant that load into that asteroid to blow it properly. And then exploding asteroids will also cause presumably some additional effects if asteroid is booby-trapped or whatnot. So it's dangerous. Because now asteroids also get elite rankings, but no, apparently there will be acidic or corrosive, corrosive, explosive, dusts, and kinetic, sort of a damage. No, dust technically is not the damage, but no, whatever. There's
Sounds
that.
awesome.
Okay. A little bit more variety, which is nice, sure. Let's see. I do think I got the thing open.
Will you be reprising your mining song while you're doing that then?
Mine all day, mine the way. Oh boy, yeah, right. So let me put that on the screen for at least myself. The rest of you can search the forums yourselves, I think. It's hard to miss that roadmap. Thingamajig. Right, where's the mining? Right, asteroid look thingamajig. Yeah, there we go. So, at least on my screen, there will be the new asteroid types. So, that would be that. And there was some of the animation as well. Where the fuck was it? Right.
Chris, I don't think that's how that works.
So, yeah.
I got a guy in my chat who likes to do a lot of over-engineering and combat, and he goes, I don't need corrosive multi-cannons anymore, I'll just use asteroid mines to do it. I don't think that's how that works.
No, I highly doubt it will be that easily that you send in a couple of missiles or torps to destroy it. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe there's another limpant type that's coming. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, essentially a little bit overgrown and different asteroids and so on and so forth. So who knows how they will look and work. But apparently, yeah.
I
they
didn't
did
ask the
actually
question
mention.
there. Go on, sorry, I over talking you.
No, go.
I was actually wondering, how are we going to be placing the charges? Because they mentioned you'll be placing charges very delicately.
Limpets, I think.
Limpets. There we go. Limpets. That's
Limpets?
It. Yep.
So what about at the back of the
they're
asteroid?
reusing they're basically reusing typical mechanics already in the game. So limpets would be typical thing.
I think that's
It's possible maybe limpets are changing though, Yamix, isn't it?
I would hope.
The exploration probes are not limpets. They work like ammo.
They'll work in
right,
Super Cruise, so that's an interesting little thing.
Yeah, the probes actually work like ammo. I believe they're loaded into the Discovery scanner, and you can synthesize them. So they don't actually have any mass or weight. You don't need to store them in the cargo hold. So it's possible, maybe
We'll see
Frontier would do
about
that with the other things. That's definitely how probes work. Frontier have said that. They've confirmed that.
Oh, okie dokie.
That's how
that
probes are
Super
going to work.
Cruise thing.
Yeah.
That Super Cruise thing is interesting because they are FTL capable. Those probes. So if they are ammo and they're fired out and they travel, they've got their own little frameshift drives and they fly at Super Cruise speeds. Where's my Super Cruise multi-cannon?
Right, where's my Super Cruise torpedo?
Super
Reverb
multi-cannon,
cascade torpedo,
ballistically
huh?
impossible. The thing would combust itself in your face.
Yeah, you head into the gameplay versus a Burton road there. You don't want to go down that road.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, do I need to pull out my my script for the weapons video that I'm working on?
Oh my!
If there's something relevant, go for it. If not, then why? Aside from bragging about it?
No, the whole FTL multi-cannon.
Hey, you guys see my
Impossible.
script? Hey,
It's impossible.
excuse me while I whip this out.
Currently impossible, even with the tech of 3304. No, there's no way.
Right.
Then why can our probes work then?
They're not ballistics. Not in the same way.
What about them being like Targoid, I don't know, fart-filled canisters or something?
Yeah, they're made out of anacondas, anaconda's children or something. I don't know,
Yeah.
Look, don't mention it. Don't criticize it because FDev are giving us something that isn't logical here, that makes no sense in space. And if you talk too loudly, they'll nerf it. Right, so leave it alone.
So probes are.
I like my
anacondas.
Super Cruise probes. Leave them alone.
Yeah, you really don't want them flying in like normal speeds.
Yeah.
Fire for probe,
Yeah, but
and that will take
as
6
far
months.
as-
That's one of those things that people just can't win, though, isn't it? You either got the probes
You
flying
can't.
at Super Cruise speeds and people are going to complain, or they fly at regular speeds and people are going to complain. So
Mhm.
I'll take
Yeah.
gameplay over lore. I'm the lore
Exactly.
junkie, but I'll take gameplay over the situation.
well, sometimes gameplay's got to take priority, isn't it?
It has, definitely.
It has to always. I mean, otherwise you're gonna basically end up with something like Arma, or I don't fucking know, even worse sort of simulators that are just basically garbage. So, yeah. And
I
yes,
think
I
nobody
did imply that
cares.
Arma is garbage.
What's wrong
Maybe
with
not the
Arma?
third game, but still. Okay, that's another whole story. I'm not gonna delve into it.
They already kind of tread a fine line, don't they, between balancing in between immersion and gameplay. I think
Yeah.
sometimes they balance it, sometimes in the wrong direction.
Yeah, like
You'll get
Shanks
nowhere.
not having my back.
He abandoned you, man. Feels bad.
He did. It feels bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
He's
galaxy-wide
two-faced too.
tax breaks.
He's totally two-faced. So I'll pay off my bounty, and then I'll go into the bar, and it'll be absolutely fine. He won't even mention it. But he left me out there hanging. He left me hanging.
Troy in my chat here actually wants to know what the objection to
Messages.
FSD probes is. I don't think there's an
I don't have
objection.
one.
I think people are
I
just
don't
being
know what, no.
no. I think people are just trying to be a bit funny.
Yeah, if you give somebody, this is how the universe works, this is how the physics in this universe works, and here's something that doesn't obey those rules. Oh, you can't do that, you're breaking the way that you... No, we've introduced something new. That's all. Introduce something new to the fiction. So, go with it. it's a fiction.
Well,
My
there's
list
going
of
to
works
be
anyway.
some inconsistencies there. We've got ships that fly faster than light and all the rest of it.
But they don't know, do they? They don't fly faster than light. They use
They
that...
move.
what's the name
They
of that
move faster
drive?
than light.
It's an Alcubierre drive.
Yeah, they crush the space in front of it and bubble it around the sides and fart it out the back.
But is that how the supercruise drives work?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as Star Trek warp drive, really.
So really, in real terms, you're only doing like the 300 meters per second that you'd be doing normally in the ship. But they crush the amount of distance that's in front of you, so you actually make the distance shorter, a lot shorter. Yeah, they don't move at all. Actually, space moves around us. That says Commander C2121. Yes.
I don't know about this. I just want to go faster.
But yeah, to make one of those drives in the real world, you need some special exotic materials that they're not even sure exists, with incredible densities. It's all theoretical physics, yeah. It's all theoretical.
All
The,
right.
the maths works. The maths works.
That's
you
a question.
to add up.
Anyways, I did actually write down, that basically also the Discovery scanner, or detailed surface scanner that is, will also with those probes sort of scan planet rings. So presumably with those you might also find some better ways to mine, maybe. Yay, something. Again, that's what they meant, or rather that's what they mentioned. So, yay.
That the exploration
What's that?
probes can be used for mining, yeah? That's what you're saying?
Presumably.
To find locations where very
Yeah.
rich
Well,
deposits
the-
are.
Yeah.
They also did, I managed to get a few questions answered even though I wasn't there. They did also confirm that they want the resource nodes that you find to be persistent. So they're not
Yeah.
just there for a single use, that when you
They
come
can't
back
stop
they'll
them.
actually
I did
Yeah,
ask
so
about the asteroid thing.
they'll be persistent
and,
as well as depletable, so I guess they won't
Yeah.
be there forever. Once you've used them up, they're gone. But
That
until
was
they're
one of the
gone, they'll actually be.
That was one of the great
persistent.
things about mining in EVE Online. You'd take advantage of if a whole swarm of players descended on a belt, you'd strip mine it. It's gone. It grows back slowly over time.
Over time,
But-
yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
You go, yeah, let's go to my favorite place. Oh, it's empty.
Well, the
Fuck.
advantage with Elite is like you've got 400 billion star systems, and those ring systems are absolutely massive. So there's no need for the stuff to actually grow back.
Yeah.
So which would encourage people to keep looking for more stuff all the time.
Oh, that would be hilarious, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Now I'm trying to think though how if you had like 1,000 players in a system and working on say like the rings of Jupiter, wonder how long it would take them to mine the thing completely dry.
I don't think you
A
could.
long time.
I don't think you could. Yeah. There's
Oh,
literally
you
so
know,
much
just
space there.
raise the income to about 100, maybe more than 100 mil an hour. You'll see plenty of people
So
doing it.
yeah.
Just saying, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. There's no problem in the game at all, right? Just saying. Just
It'd be quite
saying.
funny, wouldn't it, to see the rings of Jupiter just gone?
You absolutely,
Yeah.
John. That would be funny.
It's like yoink.
And it's like, where they gone?
God, this thing's big.
I think I mentioned in the last stream, the previous stream, we were talking about mining with Yamix and Exigeous, and I mentioned the old, what do you call it? The old proposals from pre-design, pre-release, about 2013
Uh-huh.
when Frontier were talking about it, And much of what they were saying at Lavecon goes back to those original designs, with the only thing they didn't mention at Lavecon was the ability that they were talking about originally to put claims on the things you find, so that you could like stake a form of ownership over it.
Yeah, I find that whole concept already quite intrusive into the game itself. I've always found that, again, a random Joe Blow just goes out and is able to claim it. Yay! It's definitely a good thing. I don't know.
You don't
Now, well, I'm
think
just being
you'd see
grumpy
people
at
fighting
this
over
point.
it? You are grumpy, I'm expert. We all know that.
Yeah. I suppose. This is basically, again, players want their own super ship, mega ships, whatnot else. They want their own bases, planetary stuff, and all that stuff. And now, because of that constant need, we get fucking fleet carriers that basically either gonna be too powerful or not enough, so making their development time useless. And now you're just basically in between, thinking either devs wasted time or now players are just overpowered. Or groups are powered, and there's just that middle ground that is hard to get, and I highly doubt they will get with the whole app or whatever. Again, we're just gonna wait and see at this point. Wait and see. No.
Yeah, there's not much else you can do, really. I mean, as I said earlier, I'm cautiously optimistic about this, but everything depends on the implementation.
It always has been that, though, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Not always been implemented in the way that would have been best.
This is true.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Thanks, Captain Obvious, you saved the day, as they say, right? Right. Let's see. There are a couple of other things. Oh, Scorpius, Super Cruise boost. Well, I'll go for it.
Yeah. Although this isn't something that they're working on, so hopefully it's not got anyone's hopes up. While we did have Sandro's ear, we were able to talk to him about things that we'd like to see. And I mentioned, I only bring this up because it was actually brought up in your chat, Yemik. So I thought it might be a nice thing to throw out there for people to throw at the devs. And if enough people throw it at the devs, maybe it will happen. But the idea of altering the way that Super Cruise works by giving you a couple of extra options, so you got more agency while you're flying around. Because at the minute you'll fly at a constant speed, and if you're doing one of these missions where you've got to try and catch up with some bandits, it's basically you're playing a scale extric track where you, oh no, I didn't catch them that time. Oh, turn around, then I'll try and catch them on the way back, because invariably they're going back. So I suggested to Sandro, how about if you had two things? If you had two things to Super Cruise, it'd make it awesome. One of the things is like a flight assist off, where you turn flight assist off, and it basically kills the safety protocols. So if you go too close to a star or to a black hole, it's not going to drop you out of Super Cruise. Instead, you could use it to gravity slingshot around the body. So, but at very high risk, and it's very hard to control. So I figured that might be quite cool to be able to like take the risk and slingshot around a planet or a star or a black hole, but you might end up in the freaking star, and there's nothing you can do about it once you've gone in. That's it, rebuy. Because
he was mentioning that about the exploration probes, wasn't he? The fact that you could target them onto a specific slingshot orbit. So the mechanics, the physics is going to be there.
Well, the physics are there. Scott Manley proved the orbital mechanics work.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's actually quite interesting. All the physics, everything, it's all there.
Yeah. The second thing that I asked him about was the ability to boost in Super Cruise. So you use your normal boost control, and
So
basically
you can spark your way through the Super Cruise. Woo!
Yeah. Well, it would take tons of fuel, and it would actively damage your ship, because you are basically putting it under tremendous amounts of stress. But if you are a bounty hunter trying to catch somebody, if you were to boost and then it's chewing through your fuel reserves and you're losing bits of your ship, like parts of like your scanners, damage, module malfunction, I'm going to get this guy. And then, oh no, I've got to slow down, now I've got to repair. If you keep hammering it, you will explode. So I asked him about
drift in Super Cruise, yeah.
Totally. I mean, how cool would that be? or if you're running from someone. Oh, but Commanders C2121, Sandro did say that if they did do this thing, you actually have a bigger signature. How would he know this? You are easier to interdict if you're traveling faster than current supercruise. How would he know this? Have they perhaps tried this?
I mean, they have tried multiple things, most likely. I mean, come on. I bet you that they at least have a couple of versions of fucking space slugs already. I mean, it's not that hard to make a FPS model. Just saying.
There's actually
So-
some concept art, isn't there, of the old concept video, rather of.
I don't remember
character-
concept video though.
Well,
Put it in
you
my
know,
video,
that
the
they
little character moving around inside the cockpit of a ship. He's actually floating in from the door behind, and he pulls himself just forward towards a seat.
and they had a whole FPS. What was their game? Their abandoned game? Was it called The Outsider? That sort of
Something that the
sandbox
third-person thing.
detective-y one.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got a lot of necessary mechanics already in place in there to just, but I mean, I
Not
think that, again, one of the problems
necessarily.
is it comes down to Frontier's legendary communication problems again. I mean, they don't want to say to us, "Oh, we've tested this and it failed," because then people will say, "Oh, it failed, you've made failures." So they don't bother telling people that they've tried things that people have asked for and that don't work. So people keep asking for them, and Frontier know they don't work, but they're not going to say why they don't work because they've tested them and found they don't. So again, it's another communication thing that they have going on.
Raven is asking, can lightning actually happen in a vacuum? The answer to that is actually yes, it can. Especially if there's enough medium involved, yes, it can. Like the lightning that we saw on display at Frontier at Lavecon was inside some kind of gaseous cloud. So
Yeah, that looked really nice.
There's actually a bunch of scientific papers on the possibilities of lightning in space. I have them somewhere. I can link them if people want to see them. If people are into the science stuff.
Oh, yeah, of course they are. Yeah. But I mean, that's
Yeah, nerds.
that-
Nothing wrong with
that's
that.
how our planets got started. Static electricity bringing molecules together at the early stage of planet formation. So yeah, it's there's a lot of electricity out there.
But
oh
Okay.
yeah.
Right. Oh, I actually did remember. Yeah, Ascorbius was asking about that during that whole time. I was like, why do you bother even suggesting that? It's just another concept thing that basically never gonna happen anyways. Because developing new things, and I'm being a pessimist. Whatever. But there was one thing that I think maybe Ascorbius mentioned, or someone else nearby did, about again. The distance between, some star ports. Why did they chose to actually put in star ports that are basically hour, maybe even two from the fucking star, and you have to travel there? Why? What's the point of it? Does it create immersive gameplay? And I did. Well, maybe it was me who asked that, because it sounds like something I would necessarily make. But anyways.
I think it was Sandro talking about the generation system, and he said that anomalies crop up, and things like Hutton Orbital shouldn't be where they are.
Yes, Hutton Orbital was one thing that he admitted basically being a mistake, not intended. Yet RNGs did spew it out like we called cum, but well, there you go. Still, Hutton Orbital wasn't supposed to be where it is right now, and yet it is. Still,
I can't accept.
Happy
that.
mistake,
I
I suppose.
It was the same as in Frontier Elite 2. You learned very rapidly never to take courier mission, message deliveries to Alpha Centauri, because when you got to that system, it was invariably the other star, and it took you weeks of in-game time to get there. So your mission duration had expired. So it's not unprecedented to have ridiculously far stations in systems. It was there in the 1993 game, so it wasn't called Hutton Orbital, I don't think. the Alpha Centauri system. I don't know. I tried not to go there because it was so far away. But yeah, it's certainly not unprecedented.
When
What
you say
annoys
you
me
failed
is
the mission.
well, you know, in Frontier Elite 2, it was time based. You had this sort of slipstream thing where time stretched, and you can't do that on an MMO, obviously. But, you know. And you had X weeks to deliver a certain mission, or X days, and you think, oh, I've got plenty of time, I'll drop that off, and then you realise it's at the B star of Alpha Centauri, and it takes you an extra 5 weeks to travel that distance once you drop into the system. So yeah, that's really. But I say the thing that annoys me about placement of systems is not something like Hutton. It's Guardian ruin sites which are deliberately placed. They are manually placed on these planets.
And I did ask about that in the.
So why do they have them at like several tens of hundreds of thousands of light seconds from the drop-in point? That's just irritating when you've got other planets in the system that are the same that would have done the job. That's just annoying.
They've done
I
that.
didn't exactly ask about
Some
that, but I
engineers
did
have
ask about
them
something
quite a way
different.
Yeah. The thing is not necessarily the distance; it's the time to get there, isn't it?
That's the thing.
Yeah, it's the time involved, and that's true with just about everything. Time.
Wouldn't some sort of super cruise boost be really useful in these situations?
Do you know, now you mention it.
But talking with Sandra, actually, Sandy himself maybe did mention something about this, or maybe someone else did. Again, still, I do remember that there was basically a question about or topic of jumping to the next star in the same system. You know, just having that hyperspace or jump to the next star possible, but. Not exactly sure why. What was Sandy's answer? Damn it! Shit, I probably should have
I
written.
can tell you
down
what the
properly.
answer to that is, Yamix, if you want.
Do tell.
We've asked the same question and got an answer from David Braben on that, and it's because he wants Hutton Orbital to still be a thing. That's why there's no point-to-point jumping.
But from star to star, at least.
No, yeah. It doesn't make sense to me, but he doesn't want quick jumps from one point to the other. I remember going back a few years, Michael Brook tried to make the argument, but he got told no. So.
Oh, so basically you're telling me that Braben tells us that he values our time. Our time is important.
There you go.
I see. Okay. Very well then. Okay.
Except iconic fringe cases, yes, but not when things are deliberately placed.
I think there's room for going halfway there. As Yamix pointed out, jumping to stars instantly. Somewhere like Hutton Orbital, the stations. No reason they couldn't have some sort of technology just preventing you from jumping straight there, so you have to super cruise there.
Absolutely. It could
kind
be.
of please everyone that way, don't you?
Well, you know, you could put your new lightning storms in there, couldn't you? Your space lightning storms. You can't get nearer because the space lightning storms in the way that interferes with gravity.
Plenty of reasons.
It's easy enough to justify if you want to.
Yeah. Plenty of reasons. But people want space to feel big. There was a poll actually, going back some time, where the it was a forum poll, but from Frontier themselves, asking how long they expected people to take to get from Earth to Pluto, and there was a bunch of options there. I was trying to get up. There's a bunch of options, like from 5 minutes ranging right up to an hour and a couple of hours. You'll be surprised how many people actually chose the long time option.
Well, there's no question. Quite a lot of players are stupid. Myself included, just saying.
Yeah.
Myself included.
If it was a case of, you know, how long to get to Pluto and just look at Pluto being pretty, that gives you one answer. But if it's a case of how long to get to Pluto and deliver something or buy some goods there, that gives you a different answer, doesn't it?
Well, you know, that's the thing. I wouldn't mind the long-ass travel if, you know, I didn't really need to do it more than maybe once or twice, you know, on my own free will. If I had to travel there because I had to, because a mission told me to go there, well then, fuck no. That's sort of the issue there. You know? So yeah. Oh well. Right. Let's see. We got any other additional things? Scorpius, you got something? Go for it.
Oh yeah. So we were talking about the galaxy map while we had Sandy's ear, and I asked him a question. Like, is it possible to increase the advertising budget for tech brokers and material brokers? Because at the minute, nobody knows they exist unless you've actually visited every single system where they are, unless you use an external source where somebody's already catalogued it, done the advertising for them. But surely, I mean, I know where every McDonald's is in this country in towns I've never been to because my sat-nav knows. So why is it the galaxy map doesn't know where these places are? Why can't I actually filter on, I need a tech broker, I'm in a place I've never been before, I need a tech broker now, or a material trader. Let me just check. Oh, I haven't visited any, so they're not going to show up.
What was his answer? I don't remember, oddly.
He says changes to the galaxy map are really, really frickin' scary. That was basically his
right,
answer.
now I remember, right, yeah.
Yeah, but what makes them scary, though? That's what I want to know.
The amount of data, the sheer...
No,
buying
not only
Not
the amount
buying
of
it.
data, but also the amount of shitty code, too, probably. Probably. Just say.
I'm not buying that.
So that's
I'm
a
afraid.
technological
I mean-
hurdle, is it?
There is a bit of
Originally,
one,
they anybody who used to plot routes originally on the galaxy map knows that you started plotting a route more than 100 light years and the thing just went ballistic and couldn't do it. The nearer you got to the galactic core, the crazier it went, and you had to plot some. This is when we had 1,000 light year route, and you had to plot something that was just short of 1,000 light years that sort of maximized your jump range and the rest of the things because of the way it calculated it, and you could find a sweet spot to do it yourself. If you just picked 1,000, it went nuts. Now out of the blue, they've given us a 20,000 light year planning route. So if they can do that, they can show us where the bloody tech traders are. I'm sorry, I'm not buying that argument.
Are you calling shenanigans on them?
I am, totally. And I'm also, it's another one of these points that gets me very worked up because it is totally contrary to their own law. Because Galnet is a trade and data network created by the Pilots Federation for the Pilots Federation benefit. So it's insane that there's data out there in the galaxy about trading and commodities that we do not have, and we have to visit a system because Galnet would give it to us over everybody else. And things like that really piss me off.
Hey, Turgeon. I smell bullshit. Right? Isn't this the case? Oh.
Just a bit.
It might be more intricate, of course. We might not know all the details, perhaps. Again, them server hamsters are just slugging through all the data already. So, yeah, they can't reserve too many hamsters to just go up and die while searching for your tech brokers.
Talking about Bull, that's a very nice Type 10 you're flying there.
3, 2, 1.
Is that with the Lavecon kit on it as well, with the skin?
My thingamajig, yes.
It's very pretty. Can we have a look? It's really
The
nice.
thing is, I actually find the ship kit rather weird because the details painted on it feels like a kid painted on it. Really. I mean, yeah, those are technically flames, sure, yeah. And kids like flames because it does make everything go faster. But
Of course it does. Like red stripes. Everything with red stripes is faster.
I mean, sure, I got the fucking spoiler too, so yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Spoilers make things faster too.
Yes. All we need is blue flames somewhere from the back, right? Oh wait, no, I have those, right? So I got the fastest ship in the game.
Yeah.
Did you
I
get
don't think there's that spoiler on the Type 10 anyway. It's probably got to be like a couple hundred meters
It's
across,
fucking
isn't it?
retarded. It's
Yeah.
fucking.
It's the size of about
probably most
5
retarded
kilometers.
thing in the game. God
You
damn
could
it!
drive a bunch of semi-trucks across there, or land a 747 on it, probably.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
it
so
feels
tempted.
like it.
I'm so tempted to gift you the Type 10 ship kit just so that you put it on. I'm so tempted.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Are they tears of laughter or are they just tears?
I don't know anymore.
I could do it.
God damn it. But
yeah, Mix, put your email in the Discord chat.
fuck. Fine.
Do it.
Let's see. Yeah, this is the one. Right. Fine. Oh god. Anyways, fine. Swiftly moving forward to ice planet changes. We
Chat wants
see
to do it.
I am working
basically.
on
Basically, we just see simply the oh god. Ah, fuck. I just can't do it anymore. Right, fine. Anyways,
You're so
ice
excited,
planet's
Jen.
gonna.
You're so excited, Jen.
Oh,
Lost your voice.
Ooh. Yeah, he's busting out.
Anyways, yeah, so Ice Planet's gonna get a little bit of extra stuff. Let me just pull that up, at least on my end. Rest of you fucks can do it on your own, I think. You're capable enough. Let's see, Ice Planets. There we go. Technically, they call them ice shaders, but I don't really think that this is shader.
Oh, that's
This is
shaders.
combination both of a texture, mapping, and all that stuff, and modeling as well. So it's not really shaders now, is it? Maybe it is, or maybe
Everything
no.
in Elite is shaders.
No, in gaming, everything that just slightly changes, the look of the thing. It's a shader, because that definitely doesn't confuse already. First of all,
But-
shaders are fucking weird.
They
But,
are.
you know.
Anyone who can write shaders has my utmost respect because it's freaking
Indeed,
voodoo.
I've tried it multiple times and I still am baffled as to what the fuck.
It's like, okay, so that
on the
code
screen.
was a planet?
There
What?
we go.
How? Yes.
So
Yeah, so the ice thing, it's got reflections, and it also looks like it's got cracks that are in 3D. There's actually depth to those.
yeah, there's depth, and that was the interesting part. It did make me kind of reminiscent slightly of what Star Citizen has on its Star Ice Planet ish. Though for Star Citizen, again, it's on a higher texture. Yet it doesn't look quite.
With those cracks,
Yeah.
would you feel safe driving an SRV on there?
Yeah, you could still be
It
safe
looks
because
kind
again,
of deep, doesn't it? Thick ice.
yeah,
Yeah, it does
can
look
be
thick.
extremely deep or thick. Oh, the
Thick,
thick,
deep.
things.
Oh,
Yes, indeed.
God, what-
You should have an extra button in your SRV, you see, for those little jets on your wheels that either keep you pressed to the ground or push you up a bit on low G worlds. You should go ice world and you go, oh, and you just press it so it's like pushing you up a little so you weigh less.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It looks nice though.
All I got to say, I'm just glad to see at least a proper fucking in-game presentation rather.
Frontier are gonna step up a bit more now. The Dino game's out.
I think so.
So the
Probably.
question is,
Are we gonna see more from Frontier? I guess on Elite the coming weeks and months. Now that they've got Jurassic World out of the way.
I don't know. They still need to ensure that Jurassic is gonna work for the next couple of months. So definitely not on that part. But I think that well, just like they predicted again, they released this thing in the middle of the summer, or rather the start of the summer. So the next half year is basically spent on making sure that it is playable and it's updated and all that stuff. But after that, the next big expansion, DLC, garbage, abortion thingamajig, or whatever you want to call these things that Frontier tends to put out, or seasons, I don't fucking know anymore. But yeah, next season might be interesting in the content-wise, at least. So.
What do you
Content
other guys think?
was
What do you think,
mentioned.
Sergeant? Or Scorpius?
Yo.
Yeah.
Well,
Sandro did mention
I-
more of a focus on content. Sorry, Turgeon.
Yes, we
Yeah.
need more
No,
content.
Yeah, we're just saying that I doubt that really, because when people say, "Oh, everybody's rushed off Elite to work on Jurassic World," I'm sure it doesn't actually work like that. They're not going to kick you off your desk and say you go and do completely bunch of different code over at that table there for a few weeks and then come back. I don't think it kind of works that way. But there's obviously been an atmosphere in the whole office because they've got the new game coming out. So it's been a distraction at the very least, I'd say, to the people on the Elite team. So with that finished and out of the way, yeah, they can come up with something a bit more. I think now we can see the pace increase a little. I think.
Yeah, I'll take a more positive attitude on it as well. Shock horror. All of the work that they've done for Jurassic World it's all enhancing the Cobra engine. So now you've got.
I know.
That's a joke.
What he thinks about that. I know
Right.
what he thinks
Oh,
about
that's a joke.
But look at what you got now with Jurassic World. They've just put a lot of work into that, and I think those lighting shaders that they were showing off, I think that they've come as part of the Jurassic World development, because it's the lighting model in Jurassic World is a little bit more. It's certainly more realistic than Planet Coaster, which is also in the same engine. But now you've got endless forests just going off into the distance, and that is powerful. So if you want an atmospheric landing, what is it going to be? Just a normal dust ball with an atmosphere? That's boring. You want forest planets. You want ocean planets. We're seeing now
You want weather.
new shaders. Yeah, weather. I want it to be dangerous trying to land on an atmospheric planet. I want to have to fight the air, the movement of the air, high winds and things like that. You know what? That
Like
spoiler
Alien.
might come in handy. It might come in handy on a very atmospheric world, and especially wings that you can flap.
Yeah, well, yeah. Ridley Scott world. That's where you're at.
Yeah.
Why is this even a thing? Proxim, what the fuck is wrong with you? I love you, but God damn it. This is the stupidest. Well, it's not quite the most
beautiful.
stupid thing, but God damn it. Why? What is wrong with Frontier? Why?
What? Oh yeah.
What's going on?
Oh
Anyway,
my.
enough of that.
Fuck me. The double spoiler. Okay, for the
I
rest
think
of the
it's-
stream, you're gonna be looking at the fucking ass of this thing now.
I'm
Hope
really
you
glad
guys
you didn't
happy.
overdo it.
Fuck
Did
me.
you
Didn't
see?
overdo it, 'cause that would have spoiled it.
Did you see the message that I put with the gift thing too? It's like, yo, dog, I heard you
let
like
me-
spoilers, so I got you
Oh, yes.
spoilers for your spoilers.
Yes, I saw that. So once more, thanks to Proxim for being extremely. Is this called generosity or just hatred? I don't know which one. But thank you regardless.
No problem.
Anyways, not to distract anymore from the whole thing, so let's continue on with usual
Getting
program.
hot in here.
Yeah,
It's
still got a
special
little bit of time.
treatment. That's what you got.
Right.
There. Special
The
treatment.
last little detail that they did mention, and I later on confirmed fully, was about the Alliance Challenger. Now, I did ask Sandy as to why they did, release a Challenger rather than crates. Because again, we didn't know anything about Challenger, and it just simply popped up one day, and there was basically no answer from him, unfortunately. So there's that. But I did actually confirm one thing. So the Alliance Challenger will be more maneuverable than the Chieftain, which I wasn't really sure about because it doesn't make sense. In that case, again, it's even more maneuverable than the fucking Chieftain.
Didn't
Yeah,
I
which is already
comment on
super
this?
maneuverable, isn't it?
Yeah, didn't I
It
comment on
doesn't
this
make
last
sense.
week? Where,
Yeah.
like the only thing that they could really do to make it more maneuverable would be to tighten up its maneuvering thrusters, and that, like, I'm honestly scared of what that means. 'Cause that's
Yeah,
oh
they did
my.
mention following things. It will have more armor, presumably, than Chieftain, which is already weight. Okay, fine. But then they mentioned it's more maneuverable than Chieftain. I'm like, wait, what? It's heavier, presumably, and it's more maneuverable. Wait.
Yeah, how's that work?
The fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Viper Mark IV is not more maneuverable than the Viper Mark III. It's heavier.
Exactly.
It has a bit more firepower. So that's the analogy I draw. And doesn't
Right,
this
and-
make the Chieftain utterly obsolete?
It makes that, and also that would also make again assault ship and Clipper obsolete as well, because they are basically those three ships: Chieftain, assault ship, and Clipper, the same ship essentially, with slightly tweaked different values on different aspects. But they might have, again, I'm still not believing what they are saying to me, but at least I did specifically ask, will Chieftain have, or rather Chieftain has worse pitch, yaw, and roll speeds than Challenger? And the answer was yes, from multiple sources. And I'm like, what? This doesn't make sense, god damn it. It simply doesn't make sense. And, well, whatever. Again, when it comes out, I guess we're gonna see what the fuck is deal with the ship, but yeah, it might turn out as an interesting review, that's for sure.
I wonder if it's going to be really expensive.
No, that's the thing.
They can't.
Usually the more maneuverable the ship is, the cheaper it is. So unless Challenger is actually, which again, if it has more armor, if it has more thrusting speed and what else and all that stuff.
Giggity.
Yes, then it shouldn't.
Well, to be honest,
I don't fucking know what to think about this thing. God damn it.
It's a marketing thing. They want to put out a sexy ship, so it's going to be the same as the Challenger, but better in all respects, and probably cost twice as much because of that. But it's all about the sexiness, I think. That's why.
Maybe, but again, even with that, it would kind of make all the fucking assault ship Chieftain and Clipper basically useless. Why?
Why would they care about that? At the launch of the game, they turned the ship's iconic freighter into a multi-role assault ship, didn't they? For marketing purposes. They don't care. They don't care.
Which ship was that?
Anaconda.
I see. Yes, Anaconda was the biggest ship in the game. Yeah, of course. At the time.
It was a freighter.
There you
go. It was just a huge, ugly, slow, dumbass freighter. But they needed something at launch that sexed it up as an end-game ship. Look, everybody, this is what you want to aspire to. So they turned it into a multi-role, combat-capable ship instead of being a big freighter, which is what it should be. I think you're looking at a similar thing here with the Challenger. They want to sort of pep up the whole Thargoid story thing, get a bit of marketing going and a bit of momentum, and that's what it's for. It's like a kick-ass version of the Chieftain for that reason.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
That's my guess. It's my feeling. My gut feeling.
Just wait and see. At this point, just wait and see what kind of a garbage truck they do bring out. So yeah.
Yeah, if it's got some downsides to it, we don't know.
Truck. I reckon it'd be good.
Sure.
That'd be a space garbage truck. I'd fly one. Oh no, that's the T7, isn't it? Yeah.
T7,
What
yeah,
did they say
T7 I
about
did
the-
officially mention as the space garbage truck, so yeah. Or no, wait, I mentioned it. I named it as a space dumpster truck. There we go, but whatever.
So what did he say
Doesn't
about the
matter.
crate in the end? Yamix?
Oh god,
Speaking
okay,
of
so I
crate, what did he say?
did ask about ships, and I did mention about Crate, and as soon as I did mention Crate, the face of pretty much everyone who I asked this was just... It changed slightly in that sort of a giggly, I'm not gonna tell anything, sort of a smirky grin. But yeah, fine. If they, I still don't get it. You announced the fucking Crate. Why don't you continue announcing the fucking Crate and instead no, they're just gonna throw another fucking baby at you. And that's the challenge.
Perhaps the crate is so good. Yamix, perhaps the crate is so good. Yeah. That they have to announce the Challenger now, because if they announce that after the fact, no one's going to want the Challenger.
That's a possibility.
It could also be why the Challenger's so maneuverable. Maybe the crate's going to be good.
I think
comparable.
If a ship is
From the
that good, though,
description
I'm
of-
putting it out there right now. It'll get the Nerf bat inside a month.
Well, from the, the
Oh, no,
description
no.
of that response, we're going to get the crate straight away, and it's going to be something that they're going to push and go, "Hey, look, everybody, it's the crate," because that's how they roll, Frontier. So they're not saying anything because they're going to put it out at the same time. Yeah.
No, that's also no. Again, I did talk about ships a little bit, and I did hear what Dev said, or rather Sandy and a few others, of course, said about a couple of things, and they all acknowledge that Conda is just stupidly out there. Just it doesn't make sense, and yet, even though they know that it's out there, they don't do shit about it for whatever reason. So even if Crate is stupidly good, I highly doubt it's gonna be changed.
Oh,
The same
what was that
thing goes with
that's-
the fucking Asp Scout, that
was
piece
that
of
thing that
garbage
Santa
That
dog
thing
said?
is
shit.
such a pile of crap.
Sandra was talking about like how
Unless you're an
if they-
NPC.
if they had like the amount of cargo that like the Type 9, he used the Type 9 as an example, that if you were to fill its volume with cargo, you would break the game. It would just be, it's like 100,000 tons or something like that. It was some enormous number that you'd just be able to carry.
That is true.
That
This
is
is
But
true, but
realistically,
then,
the size of these things, they are the size of oil tankers, you know.
Oh, yeah.
then the
And
question is,
big cargo carriers.
why,
You could carry thousands and thousands of tons of stuff.
why
in
do
theory.
they make them so large? What was the point? Just the awe
It-
factor?
Another good point.
It's
Well,
because
because they were in the original game. They were in the original
Well,
game.
okay,
and
they were in the
NPC
vid-
ships
but
that you
In
couldn't
this
fly,
game, you can
and they had
rescale
crews of
things.
70 people. You know,
I was just about
the
to mention.
Anaconda had a
crews as
crew
well.
of
So do you-
yeah, the Anaconda had a
Yeah.
crew of 40 to 72, I think, in the original game, and it was huge. But you couldn't
see.
fly it, so it didn't matter. You could only fly the Cobra 3 in the original
I see,
game.
so we're basically
didn't matter
banking
how
on
many
name recognition. Fan-fucking-tastic.
Well, you had hire crews in the second game, didn't you?
You did, yes, and 20
The
credits a
larger
week
ships.
was a very high wage.
I'd love to be able to do that, you know. I'd love to be able to hire crew and have that.
Well, you had to.
affect-
You couldn't.
20.
You couldn't
Have it
fly some of
affect
the
the
ships without hiring
performance.
crew. Yeah.
I'd like to
Right.
hire a science guy, and that improves my scanners. An engineering guy, and that improves the reactor performance and repair speed. I'd like that to all be
correct me if
effective.
I'm sure Turgeon will correct me if I'm wrong. I seem to remember it being a little bit like that in the second game. Some of the ships literally couldn't take off if you didn't have a crew.
Exactly.
Other
That's
ships,
exactly right,
you just couldn't use the weapons or things like that. You'd have to
Yeah.
have crew
I-
members
I
before you
think
fire
that
the
was
gun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that
we
was-
don't have that
sorry,
now.
you can't remember that
Yeah,
bit.
you couldn't.
We should.
Um,
I'd also go one
because
further. I'd
they
say
made it friendly and approachable, and they made it like one man cruise against the galaxy thing. You know, that's
yeah,
how
but
they
like
set it
I'm
out.
one person.
And you
in a
can't
flippin'
go
Conda.
back on that once you've established it. That's the trouble. You can't sort of take that back off people.
Yeah, you
That's
can.
why they're never going to
You can.
change the Anaconda and
You
double its mass to what it should be. Can you imagine
What
the
the-
outcry if the Anaconda overnight suddenly had an 800-ton mass and its jump range was cut down to like 20 light years? Can you imagine what would happen if you did that?
Yeah, that would be
Making the
not gonna
best
happen.
exploration ship in the game basically a piece of crap. Yeah, I see
Yeah,
forums
not
and
gonna
flames
happen.
already.
But I think they can do the cruise thing. What do Achilles make? Robots.
Well,
You
yes,
could already
you
say
could.
you've got a robot crew. But if
You
you,
could
wanted
say
to
that.
replace those robots with people crew who you can pick up from stations, who can get injured, but they're better than the robot crew could ever be, then
That's good. I like that.
yeah. So your ship already
the
has
bestest
the
and
full
simplest
complement. Of crew.
explanation is space magic and cocaine. Or one and the same.
Onion head. Every ship comes with 5 cargo canisters full of onion head. That's standard.
Well, what do you think's in that thermos and a sidewinder? There's a thermos.
Bean water?
I'd say we called
Very wondering
piss.
now. I was just about to say that. There was a recent episode of Expanse. The guy in his relationship, I don't know if you've seen it. I'll probably leave a spoiler for everyone.
Oh, I've not seen the
It's
most recent
basically- All right.
season.
Well, the guy, they won't spoil it, but there's
Fingers in
basically
your
a
ears,
guy
Score.
flying-
La, la, la,
yeah,
la.
there's a guy stuck in his seat for weeks at a time. So yeah, basically
Right.
fits into what Yamik just suggested.
Yeah, so you wouldn't want to drink that then.
You might have actually drunk it if I try and remember.
Oh, that's straight
Just
out of
feed it to
Blackadder,
your
isn't it?
enemies. Just feed
That's
it
how
to
black
your
eye-
enemies.
Yeah,
That's
Well,
about
the
it.
captain's been drinking his since we left port. He says he prefers it.
Yeah, he likes it. yeah.
Okay.
But no, that was the thing. The description of the seats in the original Elite made out of this strange material called silastoplaston that basically is wipe free and can handle any of the stains that you throw at it in deep space. You know, it's got this whole description. I think it was probably Ian Bell wrote that bit because he had that kind of sense of humour about that thing.
It can handle any of the stains that you would find in deep
Oh, yes.
space. That's not a very big list, is it? I mean,
Is
what does it have to be resistant against?
Rog?
I mean, what? Okay,
You've got
yeah,
ROG. You know, that's extra.
Some
stains, you know.
dirt, you know, some I don't know, particles, maybe.
I mean,
That's
you're going to have the odd
about it.
accident. That's to be expected. But I mean, it's not like you're going to suddenly get a chicken vindaloo have to wipe out, is it?
I hope.
Or
That is true.
why is it whenever you spill curry on a surface, that's it, that surface is dead. You can't get that curry stain out. Sorry.
So
Goid spit.
So that mean if your dog got stained and off out the window or something?
if
Or
my
maybe
dog
it's
gets
already
stained,
stained. And you just decide, I'm gonna keep it.
he has a very rigorous cleaning regimen. Some
I see.
areas more than others.
I see.
Oh boy.
Understandably. Understandably, yes.
All right, I found the reference. I found the reference here in the old manual. It says, where are we? Yes, particularly pleasing there were the lines of the pilot's seat made of revolutionary silastoplaston, a material that stays dry at all times. It really gives the message that you are in control. It feels as though you are immersed in water while it protects you from dangerously high acceleration forces. So there you go, that's what it does.
Immersed in water.
It stays dry at all times, but it feels like you're
Some more space magic. Yep, that's
We're talking about Elite 2. Did anyone see the little article on one of those games website? Was it PCGN? I can't remember. They spoke to David Craven about Elite Dangerous 2.
Yeah,
you
I
see
saw
that?
that. I saw that.
No, I missed that one.
Nope.
That's like that's like someone, you know, putting out a trailer for the second game in a series and then immediately being asked when they're doing a third one before the second one's even released. Like, this game's not done. We still got several years left in this. Like, what's going on here?
Equal to Elite Dangerous B.
Yeah, I
would they
got
call
that impression as well. The guy's looking for views.
Elita Dangerouser?
No, it will be just Elite Stupid. That's what it's. That's the
Elite
next
Deadly,
game. Just Elite
technically.
Stupid. There we go.
Elite padded walls.
Elite.
Elite. Duh. Yes. Well, that's the thing. It should be. It should be
Elite.
Elite.
We
Citizen.
forgot how
Yes,
to
Elite.
count the
Next.
numbers.
Then Elite. Yeah.
If he Elite Citizen, the search for more money.
Oh God! No, that'd be Star Citizen.
Elite Citizen. Yeah.
Oh
The
god.
crossover. Yeah.
Ah, it makes me sad. One. Oh well. Right, back to the whole Lavecon then a little bit. I did actually ask Sandy about a couple of things, and I did mention to him the idea of actually putting in a handcrafted missions, quests and things like those with both the chain. Well, yeah, he did mention the chain missions, and I was about to do that as well. So the thing is, he did actually say that that'd be nice, but it takes time. And I was like, yeah, handcrafted experiences do take time to create. Dory. But whether or not we're gonna put it in, no idea. Probably not. So, those of us hoping for handcrafted missions.
What would they be, though, Yamix? Let's think about this for a moment.
Ascorbius. See, from World of Warcraft, I can give you a simple little mission right there. Go fish. That's the whole mission. It involves a little bit of story and why it needs to be done. right?
Yeah.
And it's not procedurally generated like most of the garbage we see in our mission boards. And during that fishing trip, I don't know, some wild random thing you can catch, or the thing that you need to catch is actually some somewhat tougher fish or something. I don't know. There can be different things that be put in without you being the so mighty hero of the story. Just
what is the
just
difference?
another random. What's the difference?
Difference between doing that and so here's the question: what's the difference between doing that and crafting within the mechanics of the game, and randomly generating based on a whole bunch of conditions, an infinite number of missions that can spawn off and spur off in different directions? Because the thing I worry about is if we've got curated, handcrafted missions, you will burn through content so fast, then there'll be nothing to do. That worries me. Or the alternative is you make the existing mission system better and more personal, as opposed to at the minute it's just a bit of text, go do a thing, and who are you doing it for? I don't care. I'm going to go get paid at the end, and I have no anchor to the world. There's no anchor to the universe.
Right.
I don't
so
think a handcrafted
days,
mission would fix that.
Right. So these days, my big issue with Elite Dangerous is, or rather, many people actually have, is that again, handcrafted missions would at least bring in some of that character. It would bring in a character to the game and the world that it happens in. Of course, yeah, you're gonna burn through these things quite quickly, and as I've said in the past, yes, the worst thing you can do to a good thing is make it mundane. And okay, fine, you basically complete the mission, it's very easy or whatnot else. Fine, you can't repeat it even though you would like to. Now, fine, but there are some other missions you could do, and fine, after 1,000 hours, as Sandy himself said, what are you doing playing this game for 1,000 hours? He did say that. I was like, okay, as a game developer, it's I know what you mean, but you shouldn't be really saying that, but whatever. Still, after 1,000 hours, you've played through most of the content, and there you are, just thinking what to do. See, the value in a game is not in how long you can actually play it. That's not the only sort of a value thing you can get from a game. Oftentimes in gaming these days, in fact, this is a bigger issue with a lot of gamers and people in the whole gaming making business. It's not the length of the game, it's the quality of that time. Again, I personally enjoy quite a lot of walking simulators, especially the beginner's guide. That was fantastic, and I burned through that in 2 hours or so, less than that, because it doesn't take that much longer, but it was quality time. Is it replayable? Well, maybe a little bit, but that's another thing. How replayable is the game? Because right now, let's say you play the game for 1,000 hours or whatnot else, right? You've done with the game, more or less. You've reached things that you wanted. Well, in this case, it's unlikely, but let's just say you're done with the game. You go off and do whatever you want, and you come back and you think, well, I'm going to restart playing the game, and I want to just perhaps maybe restart completely my account, which a lot of people still do, and, do those early missions once more and enjoy that good old time that I had trying to puzzle together those little small handcrafted missions and get that handcrafted experience once more. The quality of, or rather ability to replay a game is also a rather important thing that you must take in account. And Elite Dangerous, unfortunately, doesn't really have that. You come in as a new player, there's really nothing new or no rather replayability in it aside from what you already had at the time. There's no particular real reason to restart your account aside from the fact that your stats and your bank account is wiped. That's the only reason why you would do so. So yeah, there are no progression really that you go through, and there's no enjoyment even if there is one, properly speaking.
Well,
so,
I can tell you, I've got 2 accounts now, and I've been playing both accounts. The second account has been more gameplay, first account is more filming, but I've got over 2,000 hours in the game, and I'm not bored. Now, I do missions, I do mining, I've done a bit of exploring. There's all sorts of different things you can do. I think the danger is turning a very open game, and the hard part of this game is, what do I do? I have no direction. There's no direction for me to go, and no one's showing me the way to get started. There's the danger between trying to turn it into a story game like Mass Effect or something, where everything is curated, it's scripted, and you go from one bit to another, and you can beat it. You will achieve your goals as you're going through the game. For me, if that's what Elite turns into, that's me done. I don't want it. I want the open, find your way, add more stuff to the universe. Add more things, find them, explore, new mechanics, new ships. For me, it's not about the ships either, or the bank balance. I have got pitiful amount of money in my bank, but still 2,000 hours in, and I'm not bored.
But
So-
to an extent, things like World of Warcraft or other MMORPGs, again, they do have that. In a way, yeah, they do have that end game content. But after that, you can still use your character. You can still go on PvP, and essentially in this game, after you reach like the 2 billion mark, give or take, you're done with the game's, let's just call it progression, sort of. Unless you're up for every ship, right? Like myself. But even so, it's...
Sounds like you're trying to beat the game.
Yeah. I have my own objective, let's just say so.
Um,
Well,
I like flying spaceships.
the one thing I did
Let's do
take
it.
away from Lavecon essentially was just well, how good is Elite when it comes down to replayability? When you come back from not playing the game, how interesting is it to get back into it? Because just having the same old grind being presented in front of you is not that interesting, even if it's mission based grind. So well, yeah, that's where the handcrafted missions come in. They offer a little bit more variety and that uniqueness, because you can't simply spam them. The game itself, would be designed to stop you at the first time. You're done with it, that's it. Move on, do something else.
Yeah.
You know,
So what you're saying, GMX, is
Yeah.
there's not enough activities. Is that right?
No, there are plenty of activities. There's rather the lack of, I'd say curated experiences in a way. Again, I have no problem against said procedurally generated missions. They are there to fill the void. But just like with any sort of food, filling is not what you would like to remember as the whole meal. It's the the details of the meal. It's the unique things. It's the details. Yeah, basically the unique little pieces that are not fucking filling.
No, I see
So,
where
yeah.
you're coming from. So how do you feel about things like the Thargoid bases and the mega ships?
Stargate bases, right? So overall, environment's interesting. Definitely, environment's interesting, but there's no missions about it. There's no real story aside from randomly just poking and prodding a couple of things. And even then, someone else discovers that instead of you. It doesn't make the game, or rather, if you want to follow the story, doesn't it make more interesting gameplay if you yourself are guided to the discovery of the puzzle solving rather than having someone on
else
the
do it.
YouTube solved it, and now is it really interesting anymore to repeat it?
No, I totally agree with you on there.
yeah.
I'm just
So
wondering
there
what
you
you
go.
think maybe about the mission board. Instead of just sending us the places it sends us to, coming up with missions that send us to Thargoid bases and giving us a reason to go there. And then
Yeah,
perhaps when you
definitely.
return back, chain linking onto one of the other locations that are in the game. Would that get boring for you, or?
Yeah,
I don't
right.
have
So
enough
the
variety.
idea of basically missions giving some more direct hints to new discoveries, that concept I've actually played with in my head a little bit, and honestly, it's a very ham-fisted, but in a way that could be interesting. Depends on the execution always, but there are perhaps a bit more subtle ways of doing it. Like, you're given mission in disguise in a way, if you will. Let's just say it's a mining mission on a planet. You're asked to go and survey or scan an outpost, and nearby, or during your scan, you hear something. The mystery. There you go, and that way you spark that sort of a follow through, or by the end of the mission you unlock some sort of unique mission, or some shady asshole just comes to you offering a mission to explore that sound or sell that data to you or something like that.
Yeah, so that sort of thing could possibly done procedurally, couldn't it?
Could that be done procedurally? To an extent.
With the assets
to an extent, yes, it can be done. My point more or less was about repetition.
Well, one of the things Scorb and I were saying was the missed opportunities. They've got a family or something.
It's not a person, it's basically an item 347-7.
That's it. But you've rescued them anyway, and you go, yeah, I rescued the people. Now, later in the game, there's nothing to stop the game from giving you a mission on the board from someone you've rescued, as a follow-on thing. And it says, hey, thanks for rescuing me from them. Here's a tip-off on something. Or you have an NPC guy that says he wants to join your crew because you rescued him from that station. Now, that gives such an emotional hook to pull the player in and go, oh, look at that guy. I rescued that guy. Now, the value, the emotional value of that, you can't put a price on.
You belong to me now.
Really pulls people in. Yeah, it's just a little thing, a little touch, just a few words that they could put in a mission, and it's a totally missed opportunity to pull people in that way.
When you get an unidentified signal source, and it just says that, doesn't it? Unidentified signal source. Well, what is it? Oh, it's a distress beacon. Really? What does the distress beacon say? What's it saying? If it's like, help me, I'm being attacked by pirates, there's 5 of them, oh my god, they come around this side. Right, I'm coming, I'm on, right, boost, let's go. But no, it's threat level 3, and it's a distress beacon. That's it. So you got, I'll go in because I can get some materials from there. It's very objective driven for yourself. You're not going in to rescue anyone. You're not trying to save the day. You're not flying in to, hold on, you guys, I got this. It's like,
or worse, you could have one of those random USSs that's from somebody that you rescued on a station, because it's checked a flag off in the code and it knows, and it goes, hey, you saved my family, and then you think, oh crap, am I going to leave these guys? Am I going to, it's going to make you stop in your tracks and think, am I going to go into that USS? When before that it would have just been nothing, just a random thing, but suddenly you've got this hook. Are you going to go in or not? And it's just a few words in the text.
It's not really dramatically changing what's already there.
Not changing
exactly.
It's giving you a totally different tie to it.
It's got a feeling
much
to
better
it.
Connection. Yeah, it gives you a much stronger connection.
Yeah. So, I mean, that wouldn't be hard to do. I don't think that would be hard to do at all. No. You're still taking a mission. You're still going into a signal source. So that what you're doing doesn't change. But does it feel worse when you go in there? Oh, you're the one who saved me. And you're like, I just want your modular terminals. I just want bits off your ship. And then you open fire. How do you feel?
Some people would love that. But that's good too. Because that's fine. It's an emotional involvement. It's a depth. It's a hook, and that's what we're missing.
If a game can make you feel something, that game has done well. If a game just makes you bored or just gives you a bit of excitement,
see, there are games on Steam. There are plenty of them, and they are called asset flips, and they enrage me. So I'm not sure if that qualifies as they done goods.
Not that kind of feeling. You know what I mean.
Then define me these feelings. Yeah, das ist nicht good. Yeah.
Oh dear. But you know what I mean. When you've seen a film or you've read a book, or you, some of us do read books, or you're playing a game and you, by your action, you feel something for the character. You feel something for what they're doing. And if it's a random event and you still feel something, fantastic.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, right. Well, there's actually. Oh wait, no. Proxim wanted to say something. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because we were talking about like all that like handcrafted story and missions and all that kind of stuff, and something that I've thought for a long time is that we have these naval ranks, for both the Federation and the Empire, but they don't really mean anything just because they mean absolutely nothing in their current form.
Nope.
So, why isn't there like a handcrafted story or some kind of story to go along with it? I know
I haven't
personally
answered that immediately.
yeah, well, laziness is my immediate thought, but
no.
but it would be really awesome if there was a story to go along with that. And as you play through the chained missions that come up, your naval rank would increase accordingly as you get through the chain of missions. Like, that sounds like a lot of fun, especially if the story is an interesting one. Like make it a damn good one, and yeah, I would love that. Like, that'd be great.
Right. So from basically a game designer's perspective, the reason why naval rank system or systems rather are right. Yeah, you can always do a lot more with a lot of other things, but the question is, do they have the time to do it? No, they need to work on space legs and shit. So yeah, tough luck. You're gonna stick. Yeah, you're gonna have this stupid navy rank still around you. So no luck for you, unfortunately. I mean, I'm being pessimistic, sure, but fucking hell, that's true.
I got a comment here in my chat. Someone saying that what we're describing sounds more like an RPG than a sandbox.
Well, yeah, that's.
Well, I've said on several occasions, I'd kill for the lore that Elite has if I was making an MMORPG, and they're just not using it, and that annoys me.
I think the point
okay.
they're trying to make though is that Elite's not an RPG; it's a sandbox.
It isn't. It's just an MMO, really. There's not much of an RPG component.
Okay, technically, this game could be a role-playing game. RPG. Remember, RPGs role-playing game. MMORPG that is massively multiplayer online. These genre, again, I get what the guys or gal, whoever is saying. Again, basically not making it like WoW, Terra, or any other like that game sort of a thing. Sure, Elite Dangerous is what it is. Again, but it's nothing wrong to be in one or the other genre. Again, just like with music, there are, again, so many different ways you can just use that genre and actually present it. There are so many good ways you can make things work. And then when it comes down to Elite Dangerous, it has taken some good things, sure, and quite a bit of negative as well. So whatever Elite Dangerous is, you can't really call it anymore, a space sim than an action game these days. Although, again, it was presented more as a space sim. But even in the first day, it really wasn't. So, yeah. Even again, hardcore sim players would call this basically abomination rather than, a sim or anything. So,
but then
again, genre elitism not the greatest idea, to be honest. But I suppose that wasn't exactly the point. I wouldn't mind at all elements from best practices being put in place for the gamer, not for the developer. I don't want the best fucking monetization practices being put in place because we already got that garbage plentiful. So
would you class Elite as a full-on sandbox though? Because I'm not really of the. I see people say that a lot. I don't really see it as a full-on sandbox as such because it puts too many restrictions on you.
No, I mean, Elite Dangerous does qualify as a sandbox. Usually, people think of sandbox the opposite of linear, corridor shooter sort of a thing. But in a way, yeah, sandbox is the most. Just basically a one big map. Go wherever you want and do whatever you want. And then there are, of course, some missions, but that's sort of a kind of a there also, not necessary to do things. And yes,
What would it
Elite
say?
Dangerous in that way is.
It's like a kindergarten sandbox. You know, it is a sandbox you can play around, but there's a nanny standing just a few feet away telling you what you can and can't do.
With a
That's
big
how
ruler
I
just
feel.
hitting you on
Sandbox.
the fingers.
Yeah,
Kind of
it's
how
not
I
a
feel,
proper sandbox.
Turgeon, yeah.
You're not allowed.
There's too many limitations.
But would you want a completely free sandbox? There has to be some
No.
restrictions.
Well, I don't think
in
any
the
of the
big
No,
rules.
no.
There's no real game out there that doesn't have any restrictions or no
Exactly.
rules.
Because I was
But-
just thinking about
but
EVE
most-
Online.
Most
That
games
class
do a
itself
very
is a
good job
sandbox.
of. Yeah, but most games rather do a very good job of hiding those restrictions. And I think in Elite they're kind of in your face a bit more. It's
That's
just
an excellent point. Yes.
Yeah.
you're stumbling over them, whereas a lot of other sandboxes, the restrictions are there, but they're so well hidden. It's an illusion. You think you've freedom than you actually have.
Maybe you're right. That's a good point. Like, Jax, I thought we was buds.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
My
Like that one.
immersion is breaking! My immersion! Hey. So that's a thing. Right. Well, actually, I've got one last piece. I suppose I got from talking with Sandy a little bit, and one thing I did get from him about the grind. It's harder to explain, but eventually we got down to the Guardian weapon stuff. I did ask him this very same question. Do you think that, putting in Guardian weapons, AX weapons, and so on and so forth is spamming the game with them? Isn't, putting in so many kind of useless weapons in some way, just made for one specific task, just spamming the game? And the answer I got was actually a little bit, I don't know if surprising, but it was an answer. And basically what Sandy said, that it was okay, so you can take your normal multi-cannon and well, you can go up against only human targets, but you can take up AX weapon, which I think he mentioned that is better than the normal multi-cannon, which I call bullshit on. I need to test that though first before I do, but well, whatever. And you can use it against everything. Well, in that case, sure, fine, but why not make it, again, I didn't get answer on this particular sub-question, but why not just make it an upgrade in engineering? Why do you need to make it actually as a full-on weapon? Don't you think it's already spamming the game? And yeah, even now, his answer is basically it gives players variety.
I'm all for that. to be honest.
No, I'm sorry,
More
no.
weapons, more modules.
Plasma charge. Yeah. Okay, I'm
We'll
sorry. Anyways, so plasma chargers. Why would you use plasma chargers instead of plasma accelerators? Why would you use the Gauss cannons instead of just rail guns? You can't engineer any of those experimental weapons. What's the point? If one of these days they become again engineerable, sure, then that might actually pose some interesting sort of outcome. But even so, why do you need two basically similar multi-cannons? I still don't understand it. Why just not make it a different ammo, or experimental effect from engineers? Instead, no, we're just gonna spam the fucking menu. In fact, I actually can show, since I am in Jameson Memorial, I can showcase how the fucking experimental tab looks like, because it's atrocious. I didn't manage to ask this, but I really wanted to ask this whether or not they will change HUD anytime soon UI. Back in the day, it wasn't acceptable. Yeah, there weren't that many weapons, but now experimental tab, it just has missiles, multi-cannons, fucking flechette launchers, Guardian plasma charges, all sorts of fucking things. And go sort through all of that in a timely fashion. So yeah, I don't know what else to say really. Just UI needs to change, and definitely adding AX weapons was a pretty bad idea as a separate weapon. But that's just me. Anyone's got any other thoughts?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
I'd like to know, Yamix and Ascorbius, what's your feelings were when you come away from.
If they had Gangby set up. So we're practicing. We couldn't breathe for laughing.
That wasn't the thing that made me laugh the most.
What was that? What made you laugh the most?
So, okay, so here comes Scorpius. I don't exactly know how the thing went down, but at one point, I think it was during the Zero Dawn, I think, that you gave me to play. And suddenly, Scorpius just starts showcasing Alexa, and I picked up a joke from Sovereignty. And I figured, okay, let's test this. So I say, Alexa, order dildos. And what did Alexa do?
Alexa, stop! She started reading out about all these dildos. I'm like, what? No! Alexa, for God's sake, stop! Stop! And there's Yamix dying on the sofa.
Yep. Alexa not only just listed things, she actually described in detail how big, large they were. I'm dying. I barely can hear anything from my own laughter. Then, of course, the Scorpius is panicking, and I'm just. I was really
this, ladies and gentlemen, is why they banned AI in Elite. You see.
Oh,
so that was my highlight on the first day. So now you can prank your boss too, or friends, or whoever. Just.
But now I know that. I'm going to do that to my business partner. He's got one in his house too.
So there you go.
What if she says, really? Again? It's just like, you want more?
Oh my. So, I presume no one else got anything else, so that was our highlights.
Nothing else to say now.
No, well, in that case, it's been 2 hours of the stream. So, it's been 2 hours of the stream, so I got to say massive thanks to Turgeon, Obsidian Ant, Proxima, and Scorpius for tuning in and coming along for the thingamajig. Of course, we all, well, those of us that chose to stream and whatnot else, we are doing that. At least I'm gonna go on off the chat thingamajig and of course do my little things. But regardless, those of you that don't know, again, please do look up Turgeon on YouTube, Obsidian Ant on YouTube. I highly doubt you would be unknowing of his work, but well, whatever. Paroxim. Actually, does the search thing work on your name now?
It does, as long as you get the spelling right.
Okay, so yeah, okay, good luck with that, buddy. And Scorpius as well.
And just so everyone knows, I'm going to be hanging around for a little bit as well before people start disappearing.
Yep, I'm gonna say I'm gonna keep my stream up so I can talk with my people here for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go off the chat here, so that's it from me to you, at least online. Yeah. In any case, everyone hopefully had a wonderful evening and all that stuff. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the talks and stuff like that. If you enjoyed, do recommend some topics we could discuss perhaps on some kind of an off day when there's nothing to talk about, because next week we really don't have anything, and then after that we have the release of or the preparation for the release of chapter
2
number something, chapter 3.1. Yes.
Yeah, number something. Yeah.
Even
everything goes well.
And then when
trying
you
to
take
get
them
the
to Beagle
views,
Point.
I see.
Yeah.
Anyways, on my part, that would be all. So yeah.
Yep.
Right.
And
I
catch
don't know
you
about
all
the rest of you.
next week
Right.
if we're together again.
Yeah, very much.
It was fun. I enjoyed this. Take care,
Okay.
you guys.
I'm heading back to my own stream.
Yep, great fun.
And I'll
See you all.
do some end minutes on mine as well. So take
Do
care.
it again.
See you guys.
Bye now.
Credit things.
Yes.
Okay, guys. So, what did you think of that one? I know I was having some difficulty getting some words in, as so many of us this time around. get in there without being rude. No, when it was Turgeon, Plater, me, and Ant, that actually, the four of us, it was speak a little bit more. Oh, man. Yeah, Scorb is very... It's interesting. Scorb and Yamix are very polar opposite in a lot of things. But they balance each other out quite well. Alright, this song's gotta go. Hate ones like that. It sounds like screaming monkeys. Yamix is beating dinos now. He actually did start up Jurassic World last night. Oh, man. You know, Chris, that would actually not be a bad idea. I put Turgeon's name in for that. I would totally vote for Turgeon. See, this is 2 of these songs in a row. Why is it torturing me here? You watched DMX play Jurassic Failed Park. Lol. You know, I'm actually not doing too bad with Jurassic World. You know what? Here's a question for you guys. I'm trying to decide if I should stream more today or not. And if I do stream more, would you guys like Elite or Jurassic World? That is the question. That is the question which preoccupies my people, Captain Keck. Missing link feeling that connect your character to the mission you're doing. Yeah, it's true. Stream more PvP? You know, I've been thinking about that too, actually. Not interested in Jurassic World. Blow up tanks. Well, I kind of want to do something for you guys, because... Yeah. Gypsy. You like Elite? You Flintstone? What? What the hell is Flintstone? I mean, besides obviously being a rock. This... Like, for the last couple of minutes, I've actually been working on another thumbnail, and I'm actually going to set it up for tomorrow's stream. Oxy School on combat faction. No, that's for Black Squad people on Sunday. No Star Citizen. I own Star Citizen, but only like the most basic of ships, like the $45 one. And I haven't even downloaded that game. It's been long gone for... I don't even think I've had it installed for like a year now or something like that. Yeah, it's been a long old time since I had that. Since I actually had that up and running. You streaming Fallout 76 beta? Nice. Nice for you. I really am personally just not excited for Fallout 76 whatsoever. The only game coming... Well, there's 2 games from Bethesda. Yeah, two games from Bethesda that I actually want: Starfield, Elder Scrolls 6. That's it. The Fallout ones I've just never really been that interested in. Which maybe is odd to say, but yeah. Owe you a Viper? Why do I owe you a Viper? DCS. Ooh, you know what? That's another game that I could stream. Would be DCS. I have the base level version right now, and I've really been considering getting the A10A, but I need to figure out how to fly things properly before I go buying stuff. Yeah. That's kind of one of my biggest problems right now. Is that DCS is complicated enough to where I just have not been able to figure it out yet. Done 3,330 hours on Elite.
3, 2, 1.
Damn, son. Waiting for GTA 6. GTA is another series that like I play it sometimes, but not very often. It's never really held that much interest for me. It's fun to play with friends, and that's you know, on occasion, but that's about it. DCS actually looks kind of interesting. It's hard. Like, there's so much to remember. You play GTA Online with your son?
4, 3, 2.
Alright, Raven, no problem. We'll see you later. Yeah, Yankee, you're not wrong. Yeah, I'm waiting for Elder Scrolls 6 too, Chris. That I do like the Elder Scrolls games, especially once like the modders get caught up and you know start putting out awesome stuff for it. I have a good time with it. Got your son a copy of Elite as well. Nice. Yeah, GTA Online, I want to like it, but it takes way too long to get money up to do damn near anything. It's super annoying. So I have a hard time justifying wasting, you know, 50, 60, 100 hours on a game like GTA just to get anywhere. It's stupid. Don't like it. Now, the random odd shenanigans that happens when you're playing with friends or family and stuff like that, like that's different. That stuff is fun. It's like managing an actual airplane. It is, in DCS anyway. It most certainly is. And at least with the SU-25, like you have to remember to turn on both engines, not just one. And all kinds of stuff. Like it is super detailed.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Really? Nice, Tato. What I'll probably do is, I don't know, would you guys like me to play, would you guys like to see DCS and watch me struggle to figure out how to fly a plane? Like legit fly a plane? Is that something you guys would enjoy? If so, I'll start streaming it. Cause yeah, why not? It's no fun to keep seeing crash landings.
2.
The couple of times that I actually have flown in DCS, the landing part hasn't been that bad. It's getting like into the exact position that you need to be to trigger certain things. So it'll tell you what you need to do. That was my problem, because when I was going through the landing tutorial the first time, like 10 or 11 months ago, it's been a while since I played DCS. I was able to land successfully, but I couldn't figure out how to actually brake, because for some reason I had flown on a slightly different path than where the waypoints triggered, so I wasn't getting the audio cues, you know, that would tell you what you're supposed to do and what controls are what.
1.
Hey, Echo Spark, appreciate that, man. It's obviously it's not just me, and I will pass on your feedback to the others. The shootout, well, the Frogfoot does, I think it does have a parachute, but it also has brakes on the wheels. And I didn't know how the controls worked, because the cue that's supposed to come up to tell you exactly, you know, like what does what, it just didn't show up, because I had flown too low. Because instead of, okay, so like here's the runway, here's the plane, and instead of coming down, you know, at like an angle like this, I came in like much lower and kind of came down like that instead. Yeah, like the angle was a lot less, because I was, you know, a few hundred feet lower than it was wanting me to be, or some bullshit like that. Like, it worked for me, so I don't understand. Like, yeah, I was really annoyed, because I had to go back and do that like 3 times before I figured out that it wanted me to be higher off the ground at a particular point. It was super annoying. Yeah, we're gonna head back to Hilla, and when I got Yemix the Type 10 chip kit, I got a little something for me too.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Do the planes get false now and again? I think they can. But I don't know how it works. Yeah, again, I don't have anywhere near enough experience in DCS to be able to tell you one way or the other. No, I didn't get the Type 10 chip kit for myself. I did get me a new paint job from my Viper.
Fuel scooping complete.
Nice, Bionic Emperor. Appreciate that. The more people, the better. He fly them badly? Maybe. I don't know. I've been watching a lot of videos on some of this stuff. It's very interesting to see just how some of these missions and stuff work. It's pretty awesome. Play something in Elite that gives me more enjoyment. To be honest, I'm kind of Elite'd out. I don't bother with full FA off, because there's not much point to it. Not for me. Some people really enjoy it, but I just find it more frustrating, because there's not much of an indication of like which direction your momentum is going.
2, 1, engage.
Beagle point run deployed in the void. Hey. Yeah, like half the reason that I do like these like stupid challenges for myself all the time is because I'm trying. It's the kind of thing that it takes for me to enjoy the game anymore, at least in its current form. The stuff that's coming in Chapter 4 though looks, ooh, it looks good. It looks real good. And also having new ships gives me things to play with. And that helps me out quite a lot. That's why I like playing with the Chieftain some, is because the Chieftain it's a fun little ship. I like it. So there's the Challenger supposedly being better. Like, that blows my mind because the Chieftain is awfully good already.
1. Engage.
Harder to drink and fly with FA off, so you do short spurts. Next challenge, blow up asteroids in style. I know, right? You know, I never thought I would say this. But the mining changes actually do look really awesome. You might actually catch me mining from time to time if these changes work out the way I hope they will. No, my dead zones are all right, Tato. I have a tendency with FA off to overcorrect sometimes, so I get more wobble than I need to. But for me, like, that's not so much of a problem as it is knowing exactly which direction, yeah, my ship is, which direction the inertial energy and momentum is carrying the ship. That is a bit of a problem. Like, I end up finding myself like trying to boost to correct more often than I probably should be. And that's annoying. But what happened when the parts of the asteroid hits one next to it? Will it move? That's a good question. I don't know. No, new module, windscreen wiper. Nah. Although I will say combat is probably the one thing that I should be doing still, because it's the only, like, I'm double elite now. I would like to be triple elite, and it's just the combat one that's left. That's it. And it's taken me like a damn year to get halfway through, you know, deadly on the way to elite. Because I think, when did I hit deadly? Wasn't it on stream sometime right about this time last year, actually, I think. Keyword here being think. Only useful on water planets. I want to go, you know what? I would like to be able to take a ship underwater. Just for the fun of it.
Fuel scooping complete.
The whole belt would be in chaos. Oh, that'd be kind of awesome. No, Chris, it's because I have a hard time like grinding out combat rank because I get bored. Like, I cannot sit in a conflict zone or a haz-res or anything like that for more than like a handful of hours over the course of a week. I just get so bored of it. And frustrated, especially with this power play NPC bullshit taking up half the spawns and the haz-res. That crap annoys the hell out of me. I don't even know why they're in there. They shouldn't be there in the first place. Those are miners and pirates, not power play people. Ugh. Have fun, Lee. It's... the DCS is hard. It's hard.
4, 3, 2.
It'll get there eventually? Yeah, probably. I mean, it's just one of those things, like, it's like, nah. Why bother? We're in 3 systems now. We control 2 that I can remember off the top of my head. We should I think, be going to war again sometime soon. You aspire to be full dangerous. More dangus. Let me look at BGS tracking real quick, because now I'm curious.
4, 3, 2.
Okay, yeah, we have control of 2. Yeah, we have full... We're in 3 systems, control 2. The third one is in progress now. We'll have control of that one before too long. Yeah, it's almost time to go to war. War! Alright, head over to Siemens. It takes a very long time to... Once you hit deadly, it takes forever to get your combat rank to go up. It's crazy. Yes, I'm deadly plus 52%, and that 52% has come over the course of a year. Yes, Hilla is in boom, so if you guys, if there's any traders in the bunch, feel free to hang around and do some trading out of Hilla. And trade from Siemens Vision to wherever. Make sure everything's profit. Profit, profit, profit. All of the profit. Due to the points you earn for shooting ranks. Well, yeah, it's that. And it's also the number of points needed to go from one rank to the next goes up by a pretty big chunk with every rank. Like, the first couple of ranks, you know, is super, super quick. The last couple are... woof. They're bad. $2 months to get to 19% on deadly. Yeah, see? It's super slow. Like, if you wanted to, like, actually sit and grind it out in conflict zones and stuff like that, you could. And it would go much faster, but my god, would you be bored. Well, I'd be bored. Yeah. Doing Gloid Scouts is the best way to boost combat rank. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't tested that to know. Although, that's not the first time I've heard that, though, so there must be some truth to it. That being said, I've not outfitted a single ship for anti-Xeno anything. Yeah, see, Krista, that's because you grind like hell. I hate grinding. I really do. I will avoid it at all costs. The moment something gets even mildly boring to me, I'll stop doing it.
Landing gear deployed.
Unless I'm, you know, operating on vodka, in which case... In which case, if I'm operating on vodka, it's like, it's game on. That's when I do all the stupid stuff. Alright, let's get the Viper. Where are you? Here we are. Ah, yes, I need to rename the Viper back to its original name. Is it's still set up for Plater's 24-hour stream. I'm gonna fix that real quick. Pooh Scout 1. That was funny. What is this? This is the Vodka Viper. All right, and yeah, we'll sell that. Really? Do I? No, there it is. Depends on the playtime and style of the player. Yeah, exactly. I have a hard time with grind. I've never much enjoyed it. So getting, you know, combat rank, it can take for me, it can take a long time. All right. Looks good. Shock cannons, pulse lasers, feels flipping good, man. All right. Now. Yeah, here we are. Let's take a look at these new paint jobs here. This is the same style as the ones on the Fer-de-Lance. I think, yeah, I'm using the silver on the Ferdy. Gold looks interesting. This is definitely very copperish. Yeah, this is I bought this for me when I bought the Type 10 ship kit and sent it to Yamix. I got this for me at the same time. Yeah, I kind of like this actually, especially for the Viper. It does look nice. I noticed the noise you hear when you store a module is the same noise as the one in Jurassic Evolution when you dismantle something. Yeah, actually, yeah, and if you really pay close attention to some of the menu sound effects, you know, when you're like researching things and all that kind of stuff, some of those are sound effects from menu and UI controls in Mass Effect 2. I don't know if anyone has spotted that yet, but I noticed that. Was it yesterday or the day before when I was playing? Yeah. Okay, guys. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm undecided between silver or cobalt because the cobalt is kind of close to my channel color, right? You know, it's like the cyan. But this silver is it just looks so good. So help me out here, guys. Which one should I go for? Cobalt or silver? Oh, I'm on Island 3 now, Lee. I have unlocked the 4th one on my way to unlocking the 5th. Silver. Cobalt. Got one for both so far. Cobalt, cobalt, cobalt. Right, so we got 4 cobalts and 1 silver. Cobalt and cyan engines. Ooh, I like the way you think. Cobalt. Alright, yeah, cobalt seems to be the favorite. I'll give you guys about another 20 seconds. Cobalt is the winner. Cobalt is definitely the winner here. All right. Now we're gonna change these weapon color. Cyan. Razor, cobalt, cyan engine. Nice, nuke. Let's see. Which one? There it is. Cyan. All right. Now. We're gonna launch this guy and take a look at him out and about here. Cobalt with pink engines. What? Wonder when the Corvette ones will be out. That's a good question.
Detachment complete. You are go for departure.
Ollie-o. Oh, you hush it.
Clear of the station. Have a safe journey.
Well, yeah, Nuke, that's because of the HUD colors that I'm using. There. Now, let's get pointed the right way here. Am I in my private group? Yeah, I am. There we are. I need to pitch you down and roll right. There we are. And there we are. Yeah, this is the Viper. This is the Viper 3, Tantalus. Then, yeah, you know what? This match is, like, this color match is really good, actually. The cyan with the cobalt, that's almost a perfect color match, actually. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna flip this thing over so you can see the bottom side of the thing better. I always wondered what the animation looks like on these things when they fire. Yeah, this does look really good, I'm not gonna lie. The animation is a lot slower than the actual fire rate, though. It's like, this thing fire, like, look how long the animation takes. No, like, you see that? But then the actual fire rate. Yeah, these are shot cannons. There we go. That's a little bit more consistent. And let them reload again. Yeah, like the animation takes a lot longer than the actual fire rate does for this thing. I don't know. Yeah, it literally can't change. There, now it's stabilized again. But yeah, I literally can't change net providers. There's only two in town. One has a bandwidth limit, the other doesn't. Guess which one I'm on? Nah, the Enforcer Cannon's not better. Not at all. But look how inaccurate these shot cannons get, though. It's like, there, you can see the path that they take there when I fire them. Now, watch how inaccurate they get when I spam fire it. You see that? Like, they just kind of go everywhere. Impressed how fast they can spam fire in beta. Yeah, they're pretty quick firing. Oh yeah, you see that? Good lord, these things can spray. What are we up to now? Not a whole lot, really. I'm just kind of dinking around. I'm about to call it quits for today. And we'll probably stream tomorrow morning, actually. Well, morning for me, it'll be afternoon for, for European, UK people. They're like the Mini 14 of Elite. Now, there's no bandwidth limit on the ISP that I'm on now, at least not that I'm aware of. Yeah, even if there was, I'd be nowhere close to hitting it for this month. Yeah, the Enforcer Cannon you can engineer, that's true. I would like to be able to engineer the shot cannons, but it's whatever. We have class 3 shot cannons coming out with chapter 2. I was like, oh, yes, yes, do want. Someone heard my pleas. But yes, tomorrow, I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do yet, Nuke. I actually do have work that I need to do as well, because, yeah. Like, I know I basically have all weekend to do it, but still, I want to make sure it gets done now, so I don't have to waste, time tomorrow or Sunday catching up on it. Yeah, you're Mountain Standard, so you're an hour behind me. So I'm not entirely sure what time I'm going to start streaming tomorrow just yet. It'll probably either be 10 or 11 a.m. my time when I start. One of the two. Yeah, exactly, Nuke. I have work that needs done. After this stream, I don't know that I'm gonna have time to do anything for the next 3 or 4 hours. The shot cannons get a lot of hate because people don't understand them. Personally, I think they're great. You guys have seen me do some nutty stuff with this Viper, in fact. So this Viper with a shot cannon loadout can do some pretty nutty stuff. So, yeah. I think the people that knock it just don't really know how to use them. The shot cannons do a hell of a lot more damage per second, Chris. A hell of a lot more. And they come built in with autoloader as well. Which is kind of handy, I'm not gonna lie. And their breach damage is stupid good. Inferior? No. It's basically a long-range frag cannon, is how I put it. That's basically what it is. It's an alpha damage weapon that can be used at long ranges. Granted, you're not going to get maximum DPS out of it at long range, but you can do it. They've got double the ammo that they did in beta also, but it's still not enough, I feel. It needs more. Yeah, especially if it's like your main weapon, you run out of ammo super fast. Using just one shot cannon on a ship really is a waste. You need multiples. That's why, like, I won't bother. They're class 2, Chris. That's why, like, on the Chieftain, I won't bother using the shot cannon on the Chieftain, because only having one of them is a bit of a waste. They work best when they're at least paired up. And on the Fer-de-Lance, I have a Ferdy loadout that has 4 of these things on it. And that thing is fun. Oh, that is so much fun. It's impractical for long-term use, but it's a lot of fun to fly. A lot of fun to use, too. Yeah, Chris, you can run Enforcers and shot cannons in a duo on the Viper if you really wanted to. That would be kind of an interesting loadout, because now that I'm thinking about it, the projectile velocity is the same between the two. They're both 1600 meters per second, so you don't even have 2 different aiming reticles, you only have one. That could potentially work, actually, quite well. Interesting. I didn't really think about that. Alright, but I am going to come back with some more stream tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and close things off for today. I am guessing that I'm going to stream tomorrow at somewhere around 10 or 11 a.m. my time, which would mean 4 or 5 p.m. BST for everybody over in Europe, and 10 or 11 my time is Central US time. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking anyway. Maybe I'm not entirely sure what to do on stream tomorrow. It'll be a casual stream of some kind. We'll just kind of have to see what we'll just kind of have to see, like, what kind of mood strikes tomorrow. But on that note, guys, I will see you then. Take it easy, fly safe, and if you can't fly safely, fly dangerously. Because what is life without a little bit of danger and excitement? So, I will see you all tomorrow. Take it easy.